All right, welcome to the Lost Lowdown podcast number, what is this, 30?
30.
Wow, the big 3-0. Wow, finally made it to, that's a pretty big number. Pretty big number.
Yeah. It is.
Today we're talking about episode 318, DOC. The other acronym.
Right.
Date of conception. I wonder why they abbreviated that.
That's the way Juliet says it. I don't know.
Oh, she says DOC?
Yeah. When she
doesn't she just say date of conception too?
After that, when she's with Sun, she says, like, we're gonna all determine the DOC, date of conception.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was her medical shorthand, something like that.
Yeah, we just wonder why the writers would, I guess just for the little mystery of that or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't necessary, but a title, Date of Conception, I don't know. That would have been a weird title.
Weirder than DOC?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, there we go. We have our answer.
I guess. They might have had a real reason for it, but that's all I got.
All right. So you ready to just go through the scenes and hammer this episode out?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, first scene, we've got Sun working in her garden, which we haven't really seen her do in a long time. That whole thing. But her garden thing is kind of like the whole thing with the golf and the ping pong table, and it's like these little character hobbies or whatever that they show us every now and then. She's working on her garden, and she hears something rustling in the jungle, and this sort of little suspenseful moment, and we all expected Charlie to pop out and kidnap her again, but no, of course it's Jack, and I don't know about you, I wasn't scared. Come on, what are they gonna do?
No, it didn't last very long.
Who thought it was the other?
Oh, it's the others coming again, right? They didn't even come the first time. Come on, Son.
Exactly. Yeah, so Jack comes out in his new favorite T-shirt, the little red cutoff thing. He's been wearing that a lot. And I sort of noticed that they kind of just rotate their wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
A couple episodes they'll wear a certain shirt, and then they'll switch to something else. So Jack starts to ask, her sort of some questions about her pregnancy. He wants to check up on her, and he's asking sort of, general questions, and then he asks, has there been any bleeding? And that sort of alarms Sun, and she wonders what's really going on. And of course, we know the whole backstory with the fact that the women on the island who get pregnant on the island have all died, and the situation with what happened with Claire. So he's concerned in that respect, but of course he doesn't want to tell her that.
Right. It's bad news.
Bad news. And he, like Juliet, he wants to give good news.
Mm-hmm.
That thing we'll get to. So the next scene is our flashback with Sun and Jin. They're talking on the phone, newlyweds. They just moved into their new apartment. And then Sun, a little bit later, Sun's on a bench, and she meets a lady who claims that Jin's mother was a prostitute, and she wants to blackmail Sun with that information, and she wants $100,000, or else she'll tell everybody or something like that, or print it in the paper, I don't know, blog about it. I don't know what she's going to do. But, and this whole thing with it was a little minor thing, but the whole thing with, she says she wants $100,000, it just reminds me of those little sort of American writer idiosyncrasies,
Yeah.
Because, obviously, she would have asked for, 100,000, Korean won, which is the currency, that's $107 in the United States, so, that's not a lot. And, an actual 100,000 U.S. dollars is 92,729,500 Korean won. So I don't think she actually asked for that number. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things with a writer, just $100,000, and they don't, they're not really writing it. as realistically as that should be.
Yeah, they wanted it to be that much. They're thinking in terms of dollars, and so, we just assume it's that much, even if that number is ridiculous to ask for. Like, what was it, 92 million?
92,729,500 won.
Just go for 100 million. That's what I would ask
that's
for.
The thing. See, yeah, I want 100 million won.
Yeah.
Which would have been, I don't know, probably like $100,500 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah, that is one of those weird things that I didn't even pick up on the first time I watched it. It just sort of, I'm just like, okay, whatever, dollars, why not?
Yeah, a little thing.
Yeah.
At this point, right when she says this, she wants $100,000, or she'll tell people that Jin's mother's a prostitute. I'm like, I know you're Jin's mother. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. Because it's like, who else would know that? Who would really be privy to that information? And I
just figured somebody who was around at the time.
No, I was like, who would really know that? And after all this time, still care? And then like, and the fact that like, what would be a good plot twist? Oh, if that's the mother.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
no, it does seem like it should have been obvious, but it wasn't to me. When Sun said that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I really didn't. I really had no idea.
Well, that's good. That's New Year's Justin, so.
Yeah. New Year's Justin just believes everything.
So the next scene, we've got Desmond, Charlie, Hurley, and Jin. They're with Naomi, the parachute lady. They basically find out she's bleeding and she's hurt, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And it was really weird how they started like kind of like narrating the episode. Did you notice that? Like they were, their dialogue was like just sort of narrating what's going on. Like that line. Where is it? Let me see. Go to my handy dandy transcript. When Charlie's like, Desmond says, I've never seen her before in my life, and Charlie goes, she's waking up, and then Hurley goes, she's trying to talk, and like it's just like kind of like narrating what's going on.
Oh.
They're saying the obvious, to them it's obvious, but it's kind of just for our benefit.
Yeah.
But that was just kind of weird. But Desmond basically wants to go get Jack, and Charlie says, no, it's dangerous. It's an 8-hour, walk, one way, and, Desmond says he can run. And Charlie, really doesn't want him to go. And then, of course, at this point, Hurley, quintessential Hurley, accidentally fires the flare into the air, right when Desmond says, nobody knows we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a nice oops. And I don't know, what are we supposed to do with moments like that? Like, it's it's bad enough when Hurley's just sort of regularly incompetent, but like, how do you accidentally fire a flare gun? Like, what does this trigger thing do? Oops.
Yeah, I don't buy oops. Like, I've got the flare gun pointed in the air with my finger on the trigger, and like, I think he did it intentionally. I mean, I can't believe you would just do that accidentally.
Why would he do that intentionally?
I guess, I don't know. I guess he was hoping for someone to come help.
Why would he lie about it and say oops? Why would he pretend it was an accident? Maybe because Desmond had just said nobody knows we're here. And he's like, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Oh, I see. I'll buy that. I could buy that. He's like, look at me. I'm going to be helpful. I'll let people know we're here. And oops. Yeah. It's probably better people don't know we're here. I'll buy that. Even though in the end, I mean, it was fine in terms of what's her name living. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what to do with that. You got to wonder. Well, we'll talk about that. I'll bring that what I was just going to say up later. But next scene, flashback again. Sun and Jen are unpacking, in their apartment, their new apartment, and Sun starts to ask questions about Jen's family, and basically he said that his father died when he was in the army, but of course before he told Sun that his father died when he was 16, and so Jen starts to get upset that she's harping over the details and stuff like that, And next scene, we've got Sun helping Kate. I guess, I don't know what's going on. I guess she's just getting her little place together or something. I don't know, redecorating, or I don't know what they're doing, but they're spending some alone time together. And Sun asks Kate what she thinks about Jack and in terms of his time with the others, and maybe he's working for them and all that, and you know, she's getting just a little bit paranoid about that whole thing, which, you know, which is nice that someone is thinking that, because, you know, who knows what's going on. But then Sun, you know, Kate is like, oh, no, there's no way he's working for the others. And Kate decides to tell Sun that she found out the others wanted Aaron for research and that Juliet was their doctor. And, of course, we get our next scene where Sun storms off to go confront Juliet. And I love this because Juliet, you know, Sun asks, you know, what happens to pregnant women? What were you guys doing? And then Juliet's like, you're pregnant? As if she, like, didn't already know. Or I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think she was pretending to not know she was pregnant?
I assume that she didn't already know.
Oh, did you?
I mean,
I sort of assumed she did know, but because I think that's part of the reason why she's there. But you don't think?
I agree that she's there to try to find pregnant women, but I don't think she necessarily knew that someone's pregnant. Like, how would the others have known that? Like, the only thing I can really think of is maybe Jack told them, but otherwise I don't see how they would know.
Well, I mean, they know a lot of stuff they shouldn't know. There's any kind of random ways they would know. Realistically, I don't know how they would know.
Yeah, because I mean, she's not going to have medical records or anything about this. This is a really recent thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only way they could really know is if the few people who know, you know, I guess Jen, Kate, Jack, and her told someone. You know, I don't see how else they could possibly find that out.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem to know stuff that there's no other way they could know. You know, no real way they could know. So they could know somehow. But I took it that I feel like she was just lying about it. But I guess it could go either way.
Yeah,
So, but then why do you think she's there then? Just, I mean, she has a week for her assignment. So, do you think she's just trying to?
Based on the recording that she leaves later, I'm assuming she said she was like getting samples from all these women, so I'm assuming that that's what she's supposed to do. You know, and if she finds pregnant women, then she's supposed to, you know, I guess examine them and see what's up. I don't know.
Mhm. Okay.
But I don't think it's specifically for Sun.
Yeah.
I don't think she went there only because Sun's pregnant.
Yeah. I'll buy that. So Sun starts asking her questions. What are you people doing? Why are you taking children? What happens to pregnant women on the island? And I love that she just kept rattling off the questions, and Juliet's like, not going to answer that one, not going to answer that one. Oh, that's the last one.
Yeah.
You know, like,
of course.
It's that thing, man. They just, we can never get those answers because something always happens.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Kate comes in to take Sun away afterwards. And
I found it hard to buy, like, the imposing, questioning Sun. Like, it just seemed kind of ridiculous. Like, you better tell me what you know, girl.
You know, they tried to make her seem that way in this episode. You know, especially like towards the end in the flashback. They tried to make her seem like she, you know, she can hold her own or something. I don't know, but it's. I don't know. I mean, they did that with Jin, too, in this episode. They made him seem like a badass.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, where did that come from? When did you learn karate, Jin? All right.
Yeah, yeah. I think in the flashback scene, I bought it. It was a little more reserved, and it was basically like, my family will kill you. Like, okay, fine. But, like, in this scene, it seems like all she's got is sort of herself to kind of back up her, you know, being angry. Mm-hmm. It just seems kind of ridiculous because Juliet's like towering over her. Like, come on, you're not going to take her down.
Yeah. I don't think. I think if Kate couldn't take Juliet, there's no way Sun could take Juliet.
Yeah. But yeah, whatever. I don't know. I understand she really wanted to know, but it just seems odd for her to pull that weird stuff.
Yeah, she tried. She
did. Son always tries.
Sometimes. So let's see. Next scene, we've got Charlie, Jen, Desmond, Hurley trying to decide what to do next. Charlie doesn't want Desmond to leave, as if he could really stop him from leaving. I really hate when Charlie gets, like, really strangely indignant about things like that. He's like, no, you're not going anywhere, because I'm Charlie, and I'm going to tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, come on, Charlie, you're like a little hobbit. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, there's a great scene later in the episode when they're about to let Mikhail go, and Charlie's like, no way, and he puts his hand out to try to stop him from walking away, like that classic thing, but he just walks right through his hand. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, you're gonna stop me, are you, Charlie? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He's like Son. He just doesn't really have what it takes to back up like threats and stuff. You know, he's Charlie.
He's Charlie. What are you gonna do with that?
I mean, if he had a gun or something, okay, fine. But on his own, you know, he's a little boy.
Aww. Okay, so at this point, our old pal Mikhail comes running out of the jungle, and almost a comic scene. He's like, "Oh, hey guys, don't mind me," and then like starts to run away, and then nobody knows what to do, and then Jen sort of jumps to action and chases him down. There's a little fight, and Jen pulls out his karate moves that no one knew he had,
including a roundhouse kick.
Well, to me that was the icing on the cake, because at first I was taken aback. I'm like, wow, Jen, you know you can sort of fight, and you know you're holding your own. And then once it got to the point where he was like doing these kind of like karate moves, and then he brings out the roundhouse kick. I mean, like, you really got to know what you're doing to like not only do a successful roundhouse kick, but to like even think to do that.
Yeah.
Then if I'm in a fight, I'm not going to be like, oh, what should I do at this point? Oh yeah, I'll do a roundhouse kick. You know?
Yeah.
So I guess maybe we're supposed to think that he learned some of that stuff working with Son's dad, Mr. Pike. I don't know. We haven't really seen him do that before, but maybe we'll see him learning those moves in another flashback later down the road or something.
Yeah, maybe so.
But it was cool. It was cool to have that there, because you know Jen's never really been in the situation to really use any of that stuff. You know, he's you know, usually it's Jack or Sawyer or one of those guys that are in the fist fighting action. But yeah, it was nice.
He's always been Mr. Stay out of it. I remember when Ethan attacked him right before he came to Charlie. He went to Son and said something like, you know, they attacked me because of what they did or whatever, you know. It because of what the Losties did, I got attacked, and like, you know, he basically not wanting to kind of get involved in their drama.
Yeah.
You know, and I think now that he's kind of learning some English and stuff and like sort of understanding what's going on, he's getting to the point where he's a little more involved and he cares enough to actually do something.
Yeah, I'll buy that. So we got the next scene. Desmond has Mikhail at gunpoint, flare gunpoint, and we find out that a lot of the information about Mikey and the Flame Station actually got around to the other Losties, which is nice to know. That those who weren't there actually sort of knew pretty much what happened. And so
yeah, there was a couple of scenes like that in this episode, or a couple of lines like that where they're
there were a couple of lines where they made it clear that information is getting around.
Kate said this and Kate said that, and like you know. It's frustrating. I mean, basically, like, if they need to know something, then they do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you know, they might not if they need to not know it for a scene to work. It just sort of depends.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess in this case, like, because no one was there when he was around, you know, they could have very well just been like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, it would have been weird. I'm glad they didn't do that because that would have been boring to be like, oh, who is this guy? And then he can make up some story or something, whatever. My name is Henry Gale, and I crashed. Oh, man. That'd been hilarious.
Yeah, and Son knew about the medical station, and it was interesting. I don't know. You really can never be sure about what people know if they weren't directly involved. It's just sort of, I guess they just decide as they go what they want to do.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I love this part where Mikey claims that he might be able to outlive a flare gunshot as well, because as we all know, he was zapped by the sonic fence earlier. Anyway.
Oh. Huh? So I'm just curious. I don't know when we should talk about this, but what's the deal with him? Like, what's he doing? What happened, you know?
Oh, he's a zombie.
Oh, he's a zombie. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Pretty obvious.
I mean, he speaks pretty well for a zombie. He's not hungry for flesh, seemingly.
Well, Russian zombies are a totally different kind of zombie.
Oh, okay.
No. Basically, what I think happened, and Carlton and Damon mentioned something like this a while ago. They said, they were, how they talk. They were like, well, maybe the sonic fence wasn't, fully charged, since it's so old, blah blah blah. And so I think what happened was it didn't really kill him, and he basically healed because he's on the island. So I think that's what happened.
Right, but I mean, why is he there? Why didn't he go with the others, for instance?
Oh, well, see, I don't know. I see that you mean that question. I don't know. I don't think, that's a big question.
And I mean, even if you can answer that, like, what's he doing? Is he just wondering, like,
I think he's trying to get somewhere. I mean, it's sort of clear he's trying to get somewhere, and he doesn't want, that line when he says, if I help Naomi, you got to let me leave, like I never came upon you, And I think he's trying to escape the others. I think he finds that this is his opportunity to escape. Because I don't think he's trying to I think he's either trying to escape the others, which means he's trying to escape the island, or he is trying to find out where the others are. But I feel like he would know where they are. I feel like he would know, that there's only so many places they would be if they left O-Town. So.
Well, and plus, I feel like he should have woken up before they left. So, and he would have been right there, So.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know when he should have woken up. I mean, he was pretty badly injured. It depends on how long it takes to heal, something like that. I mean, he says Naomi's lung puncture would heal in like a day and a half or something.
Yeah.
So, and if he was like on the verge of a cerebral hemorrhage or whatever was supposed to happen, I could see it taking a couple days, but I don't know. Maybe they left him behind.
Okay. Oh man. So you think maybe he's trying to get off the island?
Well, I mean, I don't think he wants anyone to know where he's going or what he's up to, including the others. It seems like he's. I mean, that's just the impression I get, which makes me think he's trying to get somewhere. He was really interested in the satellite phone that they had, and I just think if he's trying to escape the others, if he doesn't want to work with them anymore, then that really pretty much means he needs to leave the island, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what he's going to do on the island. I mean, there's not that much to do.
Maybe he can hang out with Danielle or something.
Yeah, exactly. He can just become another Danielle.
That's boring.
Yeah, it is.
Or maybe he's trying to get to the mini island. Maybe there's something there he wants.
Mhm.
I just think it's obviously really really sort of preposterous that he would run into them in the middle of the jungle as big as that island is. But
well, I assumed he came because of the flare.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. Do you think? Well, maybe. Well, if we go down that road, then it makes me think that he was expecting Naomi to come, because the way he came to the flare, it either seemed like he was, obviously surprised to see the Losties there. If he saw the flare, then I think he was obviously surprised because he didn't expect them to be the ones to let it go. But my original thought was that he didn't see the flare and he just stumbled across him, and that's why he was surprised. Because I don't think if if I was Mikhail and I saw a flare and wasn't expecting someone in particular, that I would just like run up and meet them like that. I would be pretty cautious, especially on this island. I don't know. What do you think? Are you saying you think there's a connection between the two of them, or are you just thinking that he just saw the flare?
I was just thinking that he saw the flare, and thought like, I'll check it out, and not necessarily going to like, help them, but just to see what the deal was.
I don't buy that. I don't buy the way it happened that he would do that. I feel like he would be a lot more cautious. He's unarmed. If he's not expecting someone in particular to use that flare, then it doesn't really make any sense that he would just sort of put himself in potential danger just to check out and see what's going on.
I mean, the flip side of that is, I don't believe he didn't see the flare. He must have been pretty close. And if he wanted to avoid them, he did a bad job of it.
I mean, I don't think the flare was that obvious. It wasn't nighttime. I don't think if you weren't, the jungle has canopies and stuff like that. I mean, it depends on where you are. And, it wasn't that bright considering that it was daytime. I could see how you could miss it very easily, especially if he's like running through the jungle trying to get from point A to point B, I could see him not seeing the flare.
I mean, I think he'd at least hear it.
Well, it didn't make a loud sound even when he shot it off, it didn't even hurt Hurley's ear, so it wasn't that loud.
Well, I thought it was loud.
I
mean, as loud as like a firework, not like deafening, but loud enough that if you're like within some radius, you're gonna hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it could have been too loud because like I said, it didn't seem to hurt Hurley's ears or anything.
Well,
so.
It doesn't have to hurt your ears for you to hear it.
I agree, but I'm saying I think Mikhail was far enough away to where if he would have heard that, it should have hurt Hurley's ears.
Now I'm talking about the boom it makes when it sort of explodes in the air, not the one it makes when he shot the gun.
When you shoot it off. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sort of went off like a firework. And that's what I think he would have heard.
Yeah, maybe he would have heard that. Yeah. We'll see. I think there's something going on with obviously later Naomi said something which I didn't look up. I'm sure someone transcribed it into English, but that little line, and he claims that she said, "Thank you very much for helping me," or whatever.
Right.
So I feel like something's going on with that. I don't know. I just think if he saw the flare, it just didn't seem like he was cautious enough about what he could have been like walking into.
I agree. That's why I think he went there intentionally.
Okay, but wouldn't that mean that he was expecting somebody, or he had an idea of who that might be?
No, I don't think he necessarily knew who it was. No, I think he just saw a flare and thought like, let me see what's going on. And he saw, what was going on, and then he ran away.
But I mean, you don't think that he would have shown more caution, though, considering the situation? If he wasn't expecting somebody?
I mean, if he was...
he just, ran up to them, like either he was surprised that anyone was there at all, or he was specifically surprised that it was them that was there. I just think he's smarter than that, than just to here's a flare, let me go run up unarmed and see what's going on. I mean, this is a crazy island.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's what I think he did.
Okay. Let's see. The next scene, Okay. So basically, this is the same scene. So, they're trying to figure out what to do with Naomi, and then Mikey says, he was a field medic, blah, blah, blah. And so he offers to help her, but only, of course, if they let him go afterwards. And Desmond agrees. I kind of like the fact that Desmond is being sort of, he's kind of indifferent to Mikey because obviously he sort of feels like there's more going on, and I kind of like that he's just being sort of rational with the situation as opposed to Charlie just like, no, don't let him do anything, no, don't let him go, and they're kind of playing both sides of that thing because I'm sure there's people in the audience who want. I'm kind of on both sides too. I want him to, pin Mikey down and ask him all these questions, and then it's like I kind of want him to let Mikey go because then we'll get to see what he's trying to do and all that stuff. So I like how they're kind of playing both sides of that.
Mhm.
So the next scene we have Sun. She's sitting alone at the beach and she's thinking, and she sees Aaron and Claire, and it's all so sad. Next scene is our flashback. Sun goes to a little fishing village and she finds Jen's father, and they talk about Jen's mother and all that stuff. And Jen's dad, I guess was it Mr. Kwan?
Yes.
Tells her that Jen's mother was with a lot of guys and she left baby Jen with him, and he wasn't even sure if Jen was his kid and all that. He doesn't want Sun to tell Jen that his mom's alive. Spare him all the shame.
So much shame.
There's a lot of shame going on. Shame-based society there.
Yeah.
Next scene, we got Juliet. She comes in the middle of the night to help Sun. Offers to help her, figure out the DOC. The next scene is they're walking towards the medical station, and Juliet explains that if Sun got pregnant off the island, she'll probably be fine, but if she got pregnant on the island, that we'll have to figure it out then. But most likely she'll die, which is sad. But it's funny. This whole thing about Sun and her pregnancy. When we first found out about that a long time ago, I really was wondering where they were going with this whole thing. We talked about like, God, is it just going to be like watching like we saw with Claire, like her being pregnant for the rest of the, whatever, rest of the show seems really pretty weird. I'm glad they're trying to do something interesting with it.
Yeah. Now, I have a little worry about this. This thing Juliet says about how if you got pregnant off the island, then you and your baby will probably be okay. That seems a little bit off with what she was saying about Claire in the last episode. In 16, that is, not the last episode, the one before last, where she was saying that that she gave Claire some kind of drug, and that's the only reason that she lived, and all that. That doesn't really go.
Yeah, it seems like they kind of wanted it both ways. It seems like they wanted to say that Claire would have been fine because she didn't conceive Aaron on the island, but she wanted to make them look good by giving them the drugs, which would keep her alive. We talked about that was weird. I don't know what to do with that. I guess other than that she was lying, that she didn't really give Claire any drugs to keep her alive, that they were probably just doing tests on her.
Yeah.
And that the reason she got sick was the implant and not anything else. So
right. I agree, but like in terms of what happened, but this means that she, the story that she's told Jack and Kate and stuff, like, is contradicting what she's saying to Sun. So
yeah, because she was lying.
If they got together and swapped stories, they'd have different things to say.
Yeah. Well, we gotta see what Juliet's gonna do now, because she at the end she says she's gonna do everything she can, and it's like, well, what can you really do besides give her drugs and stuff like that, and that's the thing. If she tries to give her drugs and medication, then it's kind of gonna be in line with what she claims she did for Claire. So I don't know. I think they just wanted it both ways. I think they wanted to make the others look good, but they still wanted it to be, if you got pregnant off the island, you're fine.
But, Sun's baby was conceived on the island, based on this episode. So, so her situation shouldn't be the same as Claire's, according to the story Juliet's telling.
Oh, that's right.
So, it just seems like if Kate had heard this conversation or something, she'd be like, "What? If you're off the island, it's okay. Then what was that? What was all that stuff with Claire about?"
Mm-hmm.
She was way pregnant before she got on the island.
Yeah.
So there really shouldn't have been problems. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just one of those classic like Lost. We like both things, and so we'll just kind of do whichever one we need to at the time. Does Kelvin think that the sickness is real or not, or does he think the button does anything or not, or like whatever? Depends on the scene.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. I'm losing track of my notes here. All right. So, she explains, if you got pregnant off the island, you're fine. You should be fine. If you got pregnant on the island, might not be good. And then she asked Sun when was the last time she and Jen had sex, and then Sun, doesn't want to say and says, well, isn't that what the machine is going to determine? And Juliet's like, yeah. And I'm thinking, like, why did you even ask that? Like, because if potentially they don't even need to go to the medical hatch if Sun says, well, last time Jen and I had sex was like, a year ago or something, or, or that doesn't make any sense. But you know what I mean? Like, depending on her answer, they might not even need to go to do this test. So it seems like she should have asked that question before they decided to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. It was just really weird. It's like, I know we're going to go figure this out, but when's the last time you had sex? So next scene, Sun goes to see her father, Mr. Pike, at his office, and she basically asks for the $100,000 and doesn't want to tell him why, of course. And he goes, why should I give you money without an explanation? And which I thought was weird. It's like, give me an explanation as why I should give you money without an explanation. But she basically says that, she'll keep pretending that she doesn't know what her dad really does if he gives her the money, and which I thought was a very, very interesting bargain. And then Pike says that basically, if this money is for Jen, then he's the one going to bear the burden of this, and that he's going to that Jen is going to work for Mr. Pike now. Which is nice. Now we know why Jen started working for Sun's dad in the beginning. So it's nice to figure that one out. Not that was, I guess, a big mystery, but now we know.
Yeah, I always thought it was fucked up that, like, he took his daughter's husband and gave him this, like, shitty job. It just seemed really mean.
Mm-hmm.
Which it still is. But there didn't seem to be a reason for it. Like, why did you have to give him this job? Like, why not let him do something, like, reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
But, it's odd to have an answer for that. I really didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I felt like we could have gone a long time. I felt like they could have easily not given an answer to that.
Yeah, definitely.
And, the answer was weird. Very weird.
That's weird?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Like, this whole situation's bizarre to me. Like if she goes on, what's going to happen? Like, he's already, like, got a lot of shame about his dad being a fisherman, and then, like, oh, your mom's a prostitute, and then what's going to happen? Like, I don't really understand what the big deal is, and like.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, you mean if Jen finds out that his mother was a prostitute?
Yeah, or if anybody does. I mean, but yeah.
Oh, I think it's just a shame thing. It's just a cultural thing. It's that's it. I don't think there's any more to get than that.
Yeah, and then he's going to be punished, because of something he doesn't know about. I don't know. It just seems kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be he's not sort of being punished so much as Jen basically owes Mr. Pike $100,000 now, and he's gonna work it off doing the sort of hitman jobs or whatever, instead of because he basically gave him a job as the floor manager because he's his his son-in-law, but now that he owes him this money, he's gonna make. That's what I felt. He's making it work it off basically.
Yeah, but it just doesn't seem fair to Jen. I mean, he doesn't even know that this is going on. Like, he just acquires this debt because of his past that he had no control over. I mean, it just doesn't seem fair, to make him, like, do this stuff, It's like, all of a sudden, this debt just appeared. And now you have to work off some amount of money because of something you're not even aware of.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. That's why it seems like a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't go to Mr. Pike and say, "Can I borrow $100,000?" And Mr. Pike said, "Yeah, sure, if you work for me." Like, in that case, fine. But that's, this is just happening without his knowledge. This is completely behind his back, and he has no control over it. So it's just the effect is that he has to, like, do this awful job, because of something that is completely out of his control, who his mom is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is life isn't fair either. So I think it sort of makes sense that something like this would happen.
Okay, life isn't fair,
really
but
weird.
That doesn't mean that this situation, shouldn't be fair. I mean.
Well, I'm saying I'm saying it's not unrealistic that something like this could happen.
Well, I didn't say it was unrealistic. I just think it's unfair.
Yeah. No. Okay. I agree. It's unfair.
And it just sort of functions like a punishment. Like Jin is being punished for his past. And it's just not. I don't think that's. I just think that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Next scene, we've got Mikey's working on Naomi, and Hurley's talking, and then he blabs about the satellite phone. Blunder number 2 for Hurley this episode, and Mikey asks if it works, and Hurley's like, "Oh, like I tell you," the sort of, oh God, Hurley. But so Mikey fixes her lungs, and she did you happen to look up what this little line she says?
Yeah. I read a couple of translations, and they were something along the lines of "I'm not alone."
Ah. Interesting. Okay.
So.
Which, like we said last episode, would make sense. It wouldn't make sense that she would be piloting this helicopter by herself for this seemingly dangerous mission.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's weird because, she's awake. I mean, she can... I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. It seems like she could just say that once she wakes up. I don't know why he felt the need to keep that a secret. I mean, he's leaving her there, to heal and stuff. And, like, I don't know why... she can't just say that, whenever she wakes up, which is going to be pretty soon. Anyway.
Well, I think the way it came off to me, well, it sort of, depends on the situation, depends on what's going on, what Mikey is thinking. But I think in that kind of situation, like, information is sort of valuable. And, if, for instance, this person that was with her has some way of getting off the island and that's what Mikey wants, he's not going to just tell them, oh, there's someone else on the island with her because, they could go start looking for him. And so it would behoove him to find that person first, So it just sort of depends on what's going on. I think he probably has his reasons on why, to keep that quiet for now. And yeah, she could just say it later, but by then, he could have found this other person or found, a working satellite phone or something. So I think he just sort of keeps it to himself just to, control the information. Give him a little head start. Kind of thing.
Mhm. But if he wants to get off the island, I mean, they do too, supposedly. So, why wouldn't he, like, I mean, I guess if it was some weird situation where only one person could leave or something, but it just seems like,
yeah, I don't think he really cares about them and what, what's going on with them. And it's obviously this is all just speculation. We don't really know what he's up to, but I don't think he really cares if they get off the island or not. He's, and he probably wouldn't want to jeopardize his chances of getting off by telling other people. So.
Mhm.
So his lips are sealed.
Okay.
The next scene, we've got Sun and Juliet. They arrive at the medical hatch. Juliet turns on the power for the lights, and Sun asks her why she's helping her. Juliet tells her she's lost 9 women so far, and that all she really wants in life is to be able to give good news again, which is so sweet.
Yeah, then, I don't like this speech. This is one of those times in Lost, like, history where the dialogue just gets too, like, I don't know what the word is, like movie of the week or something. Like, it's just too much. I don't know. There's something generic about it, and it just I don't know. I just really didn't like that. I didn't like, it's, I'm helping you because I want to tell you, blah, blah, blah. I'm helping you because I want to give good news again. Like, it's just, there's something very, like, I don't know, what's the word?
Lifetime Network?
Yeah, it's just, like, it's just really weak, I think. She does, there's no, like,
I think the fact that she's lying, is the only the good part of that, because I think she's just saying that, she's just making it up. I mean, I think to a very small degree that's true, but obviously she's helping. She's doing that because Ben wants her to.
Yeah, so. But I think she definitely doesn't like the fact that all these pregnant women have died, and I think she definitely, would rather tell Sun that she's going to live.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's partially true. And, I mean, the fact that she has other motives and stuff makes it better, but I don't know. Those lines are just too crappy for me. I don't know. I wish there was some, like, a little bit of quirkiness or a little bit of something in there to, like, make them less bland. It's just too, anyway.
Yeah.
Didn't like that part.
Yeah. It wasn't the best. At this point, Sun tells Juliet that she slept with another man, and Juliet goes, "Oh, yikes! You're one of those women." No. I love her response. They go off to the locker room area, and Juliet opens the little secret door to the secret room, and but the secret stuff is secretly hidden. And
the secret furniture and the
secret furniture and
secret kids room shit.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this solves one of our mysteries. Where did all that furniture go?
Yeah.
From maternity leave, because they got rid of it pretty fast. So the next question is, how did they get it out there? But
well, plus like the walls were painted and all that, and so they have to do some work to get it back normal. But I kind of like that idea, especially when Sun was like, "Oh, Kate said it was empty." Well, that's because she didn't know where to look, blah blah blah, and I mean, why would Dharma create a secret room in this place?
Who knows?
It's like, wow, like, why would you guys think you would need that? It's kind of interesting.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the failsafe. They seem to like these, like, little extra things. Like, the main part of the building was good enough for most things, but we'll just have this little extra room just in case. Who knows what might happen? But I have no idea. Like, to me, it's really just 'cause, like, it was abandoned when they saw it before, so, they wanted to go back there, and it's like, how can that work? Well, I don't know, secret room. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm not sure pondered the ramifications of what that means for Dharma and all that.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, if it's really just a medical station, it doesn't seem as though it'd be really necessary to have a secret room.
Mhm.
I mean, I can't think of what they do there that would require that. I mean, they're Dharma. I mean, I don't know. Why bother?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have anything on that? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I feel confident that they could come up with some reason why Dharma would need a secret room like this. But I can't think of any specific reason.
okay.
So I don't know. I think it's largely practical, like you said. The practical reason of it was empty. There was stuff in there, then it was empty. Where did the stuff go?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And if Kate had just looked in that locker, then they would have found it.
Yeah, I guess she had to look in there and then press something and then do the thing. And
yeah. She just looks in the locker with the fake beard and the theatrical glue.
Yeah, I guess all the secrets are in the lockers.
Mhm.
Good thing to know.
But
so,
this secret room isn't very revealing, I don't think. It's, I don't know. It doesn't really change my perception of anything. So
yeah.
So I don't know what to do with it. Anyway.
Son asks why is the room hidden, and Juliet says, "Oh, don't worry about that."
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not an answer you really want when you have a question like that.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Thanks, Juliet.
Thanks. So let's see.
What kind of line is that, man? Ugh.
Yeah, they usually don't give us lines like that. I'm surprised Juliet didn't say, like, give some other veiled reason. But she was just like, don't worry about it. I guess she didn't have time to think about it.
What's the secret of the island? Oh, don't worry about it. Shut up.
You think Ben would have told her what to say in a situation like that, or she would have thought that she might be in that situation, so come up with the reason if somebody asked why the room's hidden. But
yeah,
so I guess that's the question she didn't ever think anyone would ask her, so she didn't come up with an answer for it.
I mean, I wonder if the others even know. You know, I mean, it's not their shit.
How could they not know?
Well, it's not their shit. Like, Dharma would have to.
Well, how would Juliet know about it?
What?
How would Juliet know about it?
What do you mean?
What are you saying? That you don't think the others know about the secret room in the medical hatch?
No, what I'm saying is I don't think they necessarily know why the room is hidden.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, good point. Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like they do, since she said don't worry about it. But yeah, I agree. They don't necessarily need to know that because that's not their place.
It's easy to forget that because they just sort of moved in on all the Dharma shit. So
yeah.
It makes it seem like it's theirs, but I tend to want to think of it like, yeah, they just took it over. So they just figured out, whatever they could. But unless they got someone to tell them, or it was really obvious when they took it over, what it was for. So
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, the way she says that, instead of like I don't know, don't worry about it. I mean, it does seem to suggest that she does know why it was hidden. I mean, there's nothing special about the room. I don't know. Maybe there was something in it before.
Yeah.
But
well, it's weird the way the let's see. Let me look it up because I don't remember exactly what happened. It's weird the way the conversation goes because she says, why is this room hidden? And Juliet says, don't worry about it. Son says, what is this place? Tell me. And then Juliet goes, it's where we brought the women to die. And the way like she said that, because obviously Son is so, anxious about this whole thing, the fact that she might die and her baby and all this stuff. And I feel like Juliet just keeps, that it'll shut Son up if she says anything along those lines. And so when Son, keeps asking, what is this place, when she says, oh, we brought the women to die here, it seems like she just said that to shut her up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. And especially since, like, I don't really think they specifically brought the women there to die. They probably brought them there, so they could try to help them and, fix whatever medical problems they had. But it's not like, oh, we brought them here specifically to die,
Yeah.
Like, saying it like that I think kind of scared Sun off.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, it was one of those, like, conversation enders.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really, like, how's your parents? Oh, my parents are dead. Like, you just can't move on from that.
Yeah, that's the end of that conversation.
Yeah, it's shut up time. So, yeah, I think you're probably right about
that. Let's see. Next scene, we've got Mikey and the boys and the girl. And he basically says she'll be fine. He talks about the healing properties of the island a little bit, and no one seems to question what he's talking about, which is good. And
yeah, why would they? Why would they?
It's obvious, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we know the island heals people. Locke told us all that he used to be in a wheelchair.
Exactly. Man, I gotta say, this is making me really lament the fact that Boone is dead now. Like, what happened with him, man?
Mhm.
Like, why didn't the island heal him? What was going on with that whole thing?
Mhm. Yeah, I know. Well, I think it's one of those things where if they needed him to die, then he did, and if they didn't, then the island healed him. And they can't, like, not have anyone die, so I guess they just, and at the time, I mean, who knows what they were thinking, but yeah, it seems like Boone could have lived, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like he could have lived, and it seems like the island sort of heals indiscriminately, but in Ben's case, it's sort of actively not healing him or something. Because I think before we thought that the island sort of healed healed Locke purposefully, but it seems like it just healed him because that's what it does when you get on the island.
Yeah.
So it's not that he was specifically special, which I think is a pretty big revelation. I mean, maybe he became special and became important to the island, but
yeah,
that wasn't specifically why he got healed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his healing was, like, ridiculously fast. But I think that's, trying to fit all this in, I guess I'm going to say it's something like, you still can die, obviously. It's just, you just heal faster, and so maybe Boone's injuries were such that that the healing wasn't fast enough to prevent the death.
What about the Marshal?
And Marshal,
I wonder if he could have lived. Or
oh
not.
yeah, it seems like the Marshal could have pulled through too. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't going to be a series regular, so.
Yeah. Plus, that would have been a different show if he was around, and
yeah,
he would have told people
weird.
what Kate did way before, and like.
That would be so weird.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine him just hanging around like.
And he would have probably taken over the leadership because he's a law enforcement officer, and like Jack probably would have deferred to him, and a lot of things would have been different if he was around.
Yeah. He'd always be like, "Don't listen to Kate, she lies."
Exactly, she lies, she lies.
And like, yeah, no, I can't imagine. It's so easy to forget he was even on the island. Like, because he isn't there for very long. But yeah, that would have been because I think of him as a flashback character now.
Yeah.
But if he had actually been on the island, yeah, I agree. He probably would have taken he would have been a different leader than Jack too, and I don't know. It would have been a really weird show.
I think he could have got the army actually started up.
You think so?
Yeah. I think he would have had the leadership and the knowledge to actually get that going. No, I think he would have been. I mean, a guy like that would have been. I mean, sort of along the lines of Saeed, like just sort of like this, like determined badass kind of type, And like, if the others, I mean, when the others started their shit in season 1, it would have been totally different if he was in charge. Wow, it would have been a lot different. Because he would, he has all like the tactical experience and like the knowledge and like, like been totally different than like Jack. Like, hey, let's get a gun and let's just go let's go find them or whatever. Like, you know. Interesting.
Would he have been able to save Charlie's life, though?
Would when? Oh, what do you mean?
When
With the marshal?
Yeah.
You mean like Desmond has been saving Charlie's life?
No, I mean like when Jack saved Charlie's life, you know, when Ethan left him hanging.
Oh, what did Jack do?
Oh, he beat on his chest until he was alive.
I mean, it was a kind of injury where, I mean, what are you really going to do? He didn't really do anything.
He beat on his chest.
He beat on his chest. Wow. Yeah, I think he would have been able to do that. He's got the motor skills.
But would he have had the knowledge to know that that's what works?
Well, maybe he would have told him just to breathe, and then that would have worked, too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Breathe.
Just breathe.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I guess basically, like, whenever someone wasn't healed, you know, like Sawyer had that big problem when he got shot. He was fine for a little bit, but then the infection came, and, you know, it seemed like he was pretty much going to die if it weren't for Jack and his antibiotics.
Yeah.
So, you know, so the healing is sort of, I don't know what it is. It's there when it needs to be.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned this a while ago about Sawyer's vision. Like, would he really need the glasses? You know, like the healing properties of the island aren't really cut and dry. Apparently,
I think some of that is just like they came up with plots, and it wasn't. I don't think they really thought that was going to be some kind of problem in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think a lot of that stuff is just like they were writing, and that's what they wanted to do, and no one was really like, but wait a minute, the island has healing properties. What happened? You know?
Yeah.
But then once they want to go with that story, then like people just heal really fast, and you know.
Yeah.
That's it's I don't know. It's one of the downsides of having a show that's so like there's so many episodes and it's gotten so long now. There's so much to, you know, anytime they introduce a concept, it has to measure up to what's already happened, and a lot of stuff has already happened. So, you know, chances are something relevant has happened, and so then you're like, but what about this? And it's like, fuck, whatever. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leave us alone. We're just trying to write over here.
Exactly. We're just doing our jobs.
Yeah, it's
okay, so the rest of the scene, Desmond lets Mikey go, and then right before Mikey gets too far, Jen finds that the satellite phone is missing, and he runs after Mikey to go get it back. And it was really weird how like Desmond and Charlie were kind of like yelling at Jen to let him go / whatever, I don't know. But and then Jen is like, "Hey, look, the phone. This is why I'm after him."
Mm-hmm.
You know. And then he says, "Would you ever respect me if I didn't at least try to steal the phone?" And it's like, what does that mean? They'll potentially never see him again. Like, who cares if they respect him? I don't know.
It was especially weird to say that to Charlie.
Yeah.
Like Charlie's the kind of guy who just like doesn't respect you unless you do everything you can to like, you know, take your advantage in a situation. Like that's not Charlie at all. Like I don't know.
No.
Believe me, he doesn't care what you do. I'm sorry. He's just, you know.
No, he doesn't care.
He's off in his own world. He's got his own problems.
Yeah.
He's worried about dying and about Claire and all kinds of bullshit that
everybody.
Yeah, you didn't take the phone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's something he could say to Saeed and get away with.
Saeed, yeah. I mean, maybe he was talking to the audience. That's sort of what I thought too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, to Charlie, yeah, no. That's like saying it to Aaron or something.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. How could you respect me if
you
I
little
didn't
baby?
try?
Would you not have respected me?
I don't know how a baby disrespects you, but
babies are very disrespectful.
Are they?
No.
Oh, okay.
Survey says 2.5% of all babies are 35% disrespectful. 82% of people know that.
Mhm.
Um,
Wow.
so let's see. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is.
So next scene, Son tells Jen that, I'm sorry, Juliet. See, I had a J in my notes here. And I had to figure out if that was J for Jen or J for Juliet. Son tells Juliet that the baby can't be Jen's because, you know, he had some little sperm problem, you know. And then I love how Juliet gives Jen a little, gives Son a little fertility lesson. She's like, did you know? You know, she goes through the whole average sperm count thing, and I was waiting for Son to go, why, yes, I did know that. Oh, it would have been funny. But we find out that the average male sperm count on the island is 5 times what it is off the island, which is weird, you know, because you know, having a high sperm count is not sort of it doesn't seem like that's a product of healing. You know, like it's not like your, you know, testicles and you know all the little organelles that you know create sperm. It's not like they're deficient or broken when they're normal. So it's like, why would you know? It's not like the island necessarily healed them or something. So it seems like it's more than just healing. It's like I don't know, what would you call that? Like superhuman. Biological something.
It's like biological acceleration.
Yeah.
Like it's just making everything like work more.
Which makes sense because that's why the babies die. Because the immune system sort of works more and attacks the fetus.
Right.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Look
Now,
at that.
I have a bone to pick with the island.
Pick your bone.
Because
that's a weird phrase.
That is a weird phrase. Yeah, I don't want to pick my bone.
Yeah, please don't pick your bone while we're podcasting.
I have a bone, and yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying.
This is a family-friendly podcast here.
Something must have happened. I don't know who said that. It wasn't me. Anyway, the island. So here's what it does, right? It heals you, you know, and it increases your sperm count by 5 times. But if you get pregnant, it kills you. Like, that's a really shitty situation. Like, I'm going to make it where, you know, getting pregnant, you know, becomes easier. But if you get pregnant, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You know, now, it may not be that the island is doing this intentionally. You know, this may very well be a just like something, you know, some kind of energy or that the island radiates, and it just affects people this way, and like what we were just saying, it just sort of accelerates everything, and it's not like doing this with an agenda. You know, but if it does have an agenda, then the agenda doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, why would it do this? You know, why would it make it easier to get pregnant and then sort of kill you if you get pregnant?
You know, it makes me wonder about the sort of, you know, reproductive processes that the women are going through. I mean, are they having more frequent? Is their you know menstrual cycle more frequent? Like, or, you know, are they releasing multiple eggs per cycle? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
How are they being affected by this? You know,
and that's you know, there's, as I understand it, you know, women have a limited supply of eggs. Like, more are going to just appear.
Yeah.
So if they release them faster, then they would just run out faster.
Well, they have like, they have more eggs than they could ever have of babies. So
yeah,
it's effectively infinite, I think. As long as they don't have like 1,000 or you know per month or whatever, something crazy like that. You know, they have plenty.
Yeah. But I have no idea what to make of that. But it increases by like a lot my whole thing about how they really shouldn't be having sex on the island. This is a very risky thing to do. You've got a combination of a really high sperm count, and the fact that if you get pregnant, it kills you.
Well, I think I wouldn't advocate no sex. I would just advocate, pulling out if I could be a little crass. That's what I would advocate.
Oh, really?
Just don't, don't baste the turkey, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh. I don't know. I don't know if that's really going to be effective enough.
Well, they say, obviously they say that's really not the most effective thing to do, but I think it's more fun than no sex at all.
Well, I don't know what I really want to say here. I'm not saying no one should do anything of a sexual nature.
Yeah.
I'm just saying perhaps intercourse is not the thing you really want to be doing a lot of.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that it's life-threatening.
Yeah.
That's bad news, I think.
Yeah, it's bad news.
I mean, it'd be bad enough, just the pregnancy issue, but, you're going to die.
Yeah, that's what they say. Come on, can we really trust the others? Come on.
I trust the flashback. The flashback, showed the woman dying, so I'll buy it.
I don't know.
Now,
yeah,
it could be like the others are the only ones who have that problem, or something weird like that for some reason. The Lossies could just get pregnant all day and it'll be fine. But
yeah, let's hope not.
Let's hope not, indeed.
Let's hope they don't just get pregnant all day.
Yeah, that would be a really weird show. Getting pregnant all day. But anyway, I don't know how to end this.
I'm busy looking at the comments on the little chat thing here, and these people are crazy. They're figuring out how to work around the no sex dilemma, and some interesting ideas there, guys. Thank you for ruining my appetite. No.
Wow.
Anyway,
I'm reading what you're talking about. Right. Oh, wow. Wow, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really funny.
Hey, we're all adults here. We're all adults. We all know that sometimes, something.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
Rebel, I'm looking at you.
Diesel 929.
Yeah.
You're
I think that's Paul. I think that's that's Paul at NYC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're that would make for a really crazy episode. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Not to mention that's just a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
And this is the benefit of joining us live. You get to know what we're reading right now.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Wow. See, I wasn't really looking, and I was really missing out.
Yeah, it's hard to talk and look and read, and what a weird statement. Let's go to the next scene and get off of this hot topic. Let's see. Not hot in that way. Hot in the other way. Where
right.
am I? Okay. So basically, Sun gives her little line, her little sort of catch-22, if you will. Kind of, not really. That if it's the father, she dies. If it's not the father, she lives. And
yeah.
I don't know. If you were a pregnant woman, which would you rather have? I mean, obviously, it sort of makes more sense to be alive and it not to be your husband's child.
Yeah.
Because either way, the other alternative is the baby and the mother dies.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'd rather be, a shameful mother who's alive with a baby than like a non-shamed dead person.
Dead person with a dead baby? Yeah.
With a dead baby.
I agree. Yeah, between the two, that's what I go with. I mean, it does suck to have somebody else's baby and you're married and all that, but it doesn't suck as much as dying.
Mhm.
So yeah, between the two, I think she loses a lot less if she lives.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but it's Sun, you know.
It's Sun. I was just thinking, what if she named her kid Moon?
Let's hope not.
Let's hope not. I don't know. Do you really think she's going to have the baby? I mean, obviously, but if she really had it. Oh, here's the other thing. Wouldn't the baby sort of grow faster? Like the gestation period be shorter on the island? I mean, that would make sense, right? If everything is sort of going faster and working more.
Well, it would only make sense if people are aging faster.
Well, it seems like that, basically to get a higher sperm count over the same amount of time, the cells are dividing and replicating faster. So it seemed like the same would be true for an embryo to a fetus to like the cells are replicating, multiplying faster, and so the baby's in effect growing faster.
But I mean, wouldn't that be true of like people in general?
Yeah, I guess it should be true, yeah. I don't think it has to be true because it's a TV show. But I think it would make sense if they're sort of aging faster too, kind of.
Maybe that's the time travel thing. I don't even get that.
Yeah.
But I had to say it.
I don't know.
They're gonna be old and they're going to be like, what happened? And I don't know.
Actually, I was just reading what Rebel said about having cells divide faster would keep you healthy. I don't think, just because your cells are replicating faster, as long as, basically your cells would be younger, and so you wouldn't be getting older, you'd be getting older less, because your cells are dying off and regenerating, and they're not, the cell itself isn't living long enough to become old and whatever. So that's why there's no cancer, because, that's a cell that's old and gets, errors or whatever, problems in the cell, So actually we keep them younger to have that happen. But the baby would grow faster.
The baby ages faster, but people
it doesn't age faster, it just grows faster. Which I think there's a difference. I feel like those aren't the same thing. You know what I mean?
So you're saying
it's a parent age would be like, that it would, older, but it's not necessarily older so much, it's just, bigger and
so it would look like a big baby, but it wouldn't develop mentally that fast?
Yeah, it should though, because it's all the same thing.
No, I mean, your cells dividing is not what, there's a certain, are you saying they'll just learn really fast?
Well, I'm only going up into the point of before the baby is actually delivered, I'm saying mentally, obviously all that learning stuff is after that, but I'm saying up until the point that the baby, is ready to be delivered, it's, if its cells are dividing and it's growing, faster from the time it's, the sperm and the egg come together to it becomes an embryo, to it becomes a fetus, that period is faster than normal. I was just saying, when I said it's the same thing, I'm saying, the cells in your brain, would be growing just as fast. The learning and stuff, I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I don't know. I didn't want to speculate on, if it would learn faster, because I don't think I don't think it would. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I'm just saying, I think that if the immune system is working faster and stronger, and the sperm count is up, that it seems like it would make sense that the gestation period would be shorter. But Juliet, didn't say anything about that, so maybe that's just not true.
Yeah. And I mean, wouldn't it continue after they were born?
Well, that's the thing. After they were born, it just basically your cells would keep reproducing, faster than normal, which would just sort of keep you younger in effect. So that Ben, for instance, could be like. So that Ben, for instance, could be like 80 years old, but he looks like he's only 40s or whatever.
So like the kid could grow and look like they're like 10, but they're really just like 5 years old.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
That'd be weird. See, I don't want that to happen.
Oh, okay.
Because that would mean that Aaron, like, he's only, a couple months old or something, but he's really 2 or something, that'd be weird. Like, so I wouldn't go that far with it.
Okay.
Draw a line somewhere. Let's see. Next scene. Did we finish this scene? Okay, so the next scene, Jen comes home to their new apartment, and they're talking, blabbing about, and yucking it up. And he finds the money in Son's. Huh?
So I have a question about this scene.
Okay.
What's going on with the bed in this
scene? What do you mean?
Like, Son is standing there, and the bed, like, the comforter is folded over.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jen comes in, and she, like, goes over to the bed and, like, quickly, like, picks up the pillow and sort of acts like she's making the bed.
Well, she was making the bed, but she was sort of lost in thought, and he comes in, and she doesn't want to make it seem like she's doing anything else but making the bed, so she just continues to make the bed.
Well, okay. I mean, it didn't seem like she was making the bed before that. It seemed like she was just standing there, and then she was like,
well,
oh, no, I have to... Like, I got the impression she had to pretend she was making the bed. Otherwise, like, he would have seen it, like, with the thing, with the whatever, the thing pulled out, and that would be some kind of problem. But I didn't understand why that was such an imperative. Like, if he walked in on her, like, thinking, why would that have been bad?
Well, because she's thinking about this whole money situation, and she's thinking about something she doesn't want him to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I mean, it's it's just one of those things where, like you say you're at work and you're busy and you're busy working and you stop to think about something. Your boss comes over. It's not going to be a big deal if he sees you not working and if he asks, well, what are you doing? But you still sort of instinctually just go back to work, So I think that's just that's just how I took the scene. She got lost in her own thoughts for a second, and when he came in, she was like, oh, I was doing this. Let me finish doing this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or else he'll beat her. No. So anyway, like I was saying, he finds the money in her purse, and he asks what it's for, and then she says, "Oh, it's for furniture." And what else could I say? Oh, the honeymoon. There we go.
Uh-huh.
I hate it when she said furniture because I'm like, how much furniture are you getting for $100,000?
I think she thought the same thing. Like,
yeah,
that's not enough. What else? Honeymoon.
Yeah. Even a honeymoon, man. Jeez. Like, that's a lot of money for a honeymoon.
Yeah, it is. It would be. They could have a pretty serious honeymoon and furniture.
Yeah, and still have money left over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird. And then he says, let me be the one to provide, and I want to do it. But it's like, Jen, that's $100,000 in there, or what was it, 92,560,000, whatever, Korean won. Like, does he really think he can make that amount of money anytime soon, being a floor manager at this place? Like, I would be really surprised if that was his, like, yearly salary. You know?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I mean, I understand where he's coming from with it, but I just thought it was strange that he was basically. I mean, basically, what we're getting at is, remember that other episode when we found out they went on their honeymoon later? You know, they didn't go out right after their wedding. Well,
yeah.
This is what they're setting up, because he wanted to be the one to pay for it, and so they had to wait till they saved up the money for it.
Yeah, but he was also going to deliver that watch.
Yeah, well, we'll probably see that later too. We'll probably get that whole watch thing. Maybe.
We'll probably get that whole watch thing.
Well, you know, like, because we didn't see the scene where, or did we see the scene? It's been a while, where Pike tells Jen to deliver the watches.
I think we did.
Did we?
I don't remember though. It's been a long time since I watched that season 1 stuff. If they ever get back, he gave the watch to Michael, so you know.
Yeah.
It's gone. As far as the show's concerned. And who knows if he even has it anymore.
Keep it safe.
It was on the raft, too. I bet he doesn't even have it anymore. I bet it's just in the ocean.
Oh, he wasn't wearing it?
I don't think he was.
Yeah, I don't think he was either.
He was definitely not wearing it in those late episodes in season 2.
Yeah.
So,
bigger things to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't worried about that shit at all. But that's, weird. And once again, I don't know how to end this.
Nice. Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Let's see. So we go back. The next scene, we have Son and Juliet. They see the baby on the monitor, and they're all happy. But then, of course, here comes the sadness. The baby was conceived 53 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Son is like, so it's Jen.
Oh, yay.
Which, when you say a line like that, I'm like, you're lying. I still want to believe it's Michael's baby. Which
sticking to that.
I'm sticking to that. Michael's gonna come back. I want my baby. And then Walt's gonna be like, well, I'm already here, Dad. No, not you. I have the baby.
I said my baby.
Yeah. But
yeah, he shouldn't know about it. I mean, I guess he would know if they had sex, but he shouldn't necessarily know that she's pregnant. But
you know, that's what I thought they were getting at when Juliet says, "When's the last time you and your husband had sex?" You know, because I thought they were going to make it seem like, okay, well, she got pregnant on the island, it must be Jen's. But no, there's somebody else it could be, Michael, or somebody else.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where they're kind of trying to go with that, especially when she's like, okay, so it must be Jen's, you know. So everyone in the audience is like, oh, okay, she just admitted it, it's Jen's. But
is that how she said it? Let me
see.
No,
she said, so it's Jen's. That's what she said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do think it's Jen's, but I mean, it's not. There were a fair number of Michael and Son scenes back in season 1. So, you know, I don't think it's insane to think that maybe they'll do something with that. But
I just if Son and Michael never got it on, I can't piece together some of those weird looks they gave each other. You know, some of those weird scenes when this weird awkward tension, and it's like, if that's not what that was about, then what's going on?
Yeah, they did set something up, maybe, but it seems like this situation's going to come to a head. You know, it seems like she's not really going to have the baby on the show.
Yeah, it seems like it's not really going to matter in the end, unless, I don't know.
And
we won't see it.
Yeah, but you know, for now, New Year's Justin thinks the baby's Jen's.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Even though I actually read a thing online that according to the day, the baby should have been conceived right around the time that Jen found out that Son spoke English.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, she did say give or take a day, but
I'm so mad at you. We need to have sex.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, so they were on the outs, and it couldn't have been Jen's baby, but I don't think the timeline is that accurate, and her estimate was within a day anyway. So I still think it's possible that it's Jen's, but I thought I'd bring that up since that was a thing people were talking about.
Well, and it also made me, you know, the whole thing about it might not be Jen's is when she gave her a really specific day, and I'm thinking, Son could have been like, wow, you know, we only had sex right when we got to the island, and then like, you know, once last week or something, you know, and she's like, wow, if it was 52 days ago, then it must have been such and such's baby, you know, but because if there's no other person it could be, then they really don't have to get that specific, you know. So being that specific made me think there's something else going on, but we'll see. I mean, I think it's Jen's too, because I think, you know, having to be Michael's, it's just weird, and it's, you know, he's not on the show anymore. Then, you know, it's not really going to matter because we probably won't ever see the baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like something else. I just feel like that this whole thing about the conception, I feel like they want to milk it a little bit more. So I feel like there's something else going on.
They're not ready to give it up yet after all this time. Like, pretty much a season's worth of this stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I hope they are, but they might not be.
I mean, they haven't really been that focused on Son's baby this season. What do you mean?
No, I just mean the fact that from when it was first introduced to this episode, when it's supposedly revealed.
Yeah.
It's been about a season. Obviously, they haven't been focusing on it very closely. But, you know, basically we had the whole truth, and then the next Sun flashback was the glass ballerina, which showed us that, oh, she did have an affair with the guy, you know, and then this one is like, well, you know, but it was conceived on the island. So it's just sort of, you know, every one of her flashbacks has been developing that story.
Yeah, and I feel like this isn't I don't know, I don't feel like this is the end of that. It's going to be, oh, okay, she did conceive on the island, but it was with Smokey or something.
Oh, no.
Yikes. Yeah, I said it.
You did. We can't take it back now.
It's live.
Wow.
We have witnesses. Wow. Yeah, that's right, Smokey. All right, we're almost done here. Let's see. What's the next scene? Oh yeah. So we got our flashback. Son comes to deliver the money to the extortionist. I didn't catch her name. Did you see what her name was?
I didn't catch it either. This transcript just has her as Mother.
Oh, Mother Jen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't catch it though.
And so she delivers the money to her, and she basically said, you know, I know you're Jen's mother, and I guess, you know, obviously that was supposed to be sort of a plot twist, and so it was supposed to be a surprise when Son sort of figures it out, and they kind of hinted at it before with when. Because I think in the beginning you kind of assumed Jen says his parents are dead, right? But then we find out that the father's alive, which we already sort of knew. But then we find out he says that the mother's still alive, which is sort of the first little piece of information that this lady is in fact the mother. So they sprinkled the information throughout the episode, and so they're leading up to this little revelation.
Yeah. And it's done in that in that way, like no one ever says like. No one ever just sort of accuses it. They just kind of like ask a question. It's sort of like, so why did you burn the raft? Like,
yeah, it's like let's not even pretend that, you know, I don't know this information. I'm just I know it. Let me just ask straight out. Yeah.
Yeah, like explain why the thing that I know that you did that you haven't admitted to yet. You know, I don't know. That's something they like to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like they just skip that step of, did you do this, or are you Jen's mother, or I know you're Jen's mother. Let's just skip that step.
Yeah.
So anyway, she basically threatens Jen's mother that, you know, to keep quiet. She gave her the money, keep quiet, because if not, she'll have the Pike family business knock on her door and pay her a little visit.
Mm-hmm.
And then Son walks away all badass like, and I'm just like, Son, that's not you. You're the gardener, you know, like you're the sweet adulting flower.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not the badass she tries to be sometimes. In this episode.
Yeah. And I have to bring up, because like this has happened in movies and stuff fairly often. This thing of someone like having some kind of information and then using it to try to get people to pay them, to keep quiet about it. And like in movies, it always has bothered me because what's to stop them from saying I don't know, that wasn't enough money. How about you give me some more, or I'll say it.
Yeah, it seems to be like the assumption is, okay, they're blackmailing me for this. If I give them the money, they will hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah.
By never saying anything. But it's like obviously they're sort of amoral by blackmailing you in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what makes them want to hold this bargain? They have nothing to lose by asking you for more money afterwards. So
yeah, it's
just one of those things where I think. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think when you're in the situation, especially if you're, someone like Son or you're the blackmailee, you don't really know what else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you either give them the money or they say the thing, and you don't want them to say the thing, so you can only give them money and just hope that they'll keep their word.
Right.
Or, put a little icing on the cake like Son did and make some threats.
Yeah, and I think, that was, at least she did that. At least she tried to do something besides just like, here's your money, and I'm sure you'll never say anything again.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems too easy. Like, you paid me already to keep quiet. Like, why can't I just keep doing this? It seems like the only solution is to kill them.
Wow, you said that like you've been in that situation before. You've thought this through a little bit too well, my friend.
I'm just saying, when I've watched like movies and stuff, that's the conclusion that I came to. I thought, you need to kill that guy, not.
And wait, what did your mother do for a living? That was the other thing too. It's just weird. It's like, if the lady comes out and says like Jim's mother was a prostitute, like she's saying I mean. Like you said before, is that really gonna be that big of a deal? Because what if Jin and the son just like, yeah, that's not true. This lady's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, I can prove it because I'm Jin's mother and I'm the prostitute. It's like, well, you're just blabbing that you're a prostitute then.
And is this really going to be like a crazy scandal or something? Like, what's going to happen?
To me, it seems like the biggest problem was that Jin didn't know, and he would have felt shame about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Not necessarily that other people would really care that much.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, Yeah.
But Pike already thinks Jin is, not worthy for his daughter.
Oh yeah.
So that would have been even worse, I think. So.
True. I mean, I can acknowledge that, I would be more ashamed if my mom were a prostitute than if my dad were a fisherman.
Yeah.
Personally.
Double standard. What if your dad was a prostitute and your mother was a fisherman?
Compared, which one would I be more ashamed of?
Yeah.
I don't know. Those
I think my mom being a fisherman is kind of cool.
Yeah?
I don't know. There's something weird about that. Hey, Mom, go get me some flounder. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Go get me some flounder.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm hungry. Go fish for me. Wow. Yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, no, I don't think I'd be less ashamed of that or more. I think that would be about the same. I think. I don't know. Hard to imagine because it's not true.
Although every time I came over your house, there was always fish for dinner.
Oh, Just like fish is all.
Just like fish is all. Your mom always wore that yellow rain suit. Huh.
Oh, it's the fashion. What are you gonna do?
It's the fashion. Yeah, that's what they wear in Paris.
Mhm.
All right, so let's go to the next scene.
Okay.
Sun and Juliet are talking, and Sun says she's happy it's Jin's baby, so thank you for giving me the good news, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And Juliet goes back inside to make sure that she covered all her tracks, which is really, she's going back inside to do what we see in the next scene, but she opens one of the little lockers, and she gets out a tape recorder, and she records a message to Ben, sort of an update on the situation, and some stuff she's found out. And then she cuts the recording off and ends it with "I hate you."
Yeah.
Which was great, because at this point, I think everyone wants to love Juliet. I know I do, and so it's nice that we know that she's sort of being forced to do this, which most people suspected all along.
Yeah. It pretty much confirms exactly what I thought about her when in episode 16 they revealed that she was, doing something under Ben's orders. I figured that in the end, she would come out not looking like a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, this further indicates that she I mean, we've never really seen her say that though. I mean, that's pretty harsh. So it's interesting to see that she feels that much animosity towards him. By herself, no one's around. She has no reason to say that except that she means it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really revealing. I guess she's just playing along and doing whatever for some reason, but it's not because she likes Ben or wants to help him.
Yeah.
So
it's really odd, depending on what, it all depends on what's going on, but it seems like, we've said stuff like this before, and of course if they do this, it's just not very interesting, but, it seems like if they're really trying to help these women, in this whole pregnancy thing, that they could say, hey, this is the situation, call a group meeting. This is the situation, this is what we've been trying to do, Juliet's been doing X, Y, and Z, and son, you're pregnant, and you might die, and why don't we all work together?
Yeah.
That would be nice, but of course, that's not good television.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they could have done that from day one,
Yeah.
Hey, guys, all right, sucks that you crashed. Look, here's the deal. I got this tumor, and we got this baby problem.
Yeah.
So what can we do about this? All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And then, then all that bullshit wouldn't have had to happen. But, it's not good TV, and it's not the other's way.
It's just not their way.
They just don't care for those sort of nice things. They have to do they have to do this covert spying thing. And I think it's interesting that she's getting samples from the other women. And she should have Austin soon. Oh God.
Sample what though is what I want to know.
Sample what?
Blood sample is the only thing I can really think of. I mean,
what sample?
Blood or DNA sample.
Oh. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think she's getting any sort of sample of their eggs or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that extreme. But and there's a lot of women there. I really can't imagine she's. I mean, how could she get samples from all these women without, being and not be conspicuous?
And it's weird how she says I'll have Austin soon, like it's gestating or something, and she just has to wait, and then there it is, it's ready. Well,
what that means is that maybe Kate will start having morning sickness or something, but it'll still be pretty early. I mean, she couldn't have gotten pregnant more than a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's Sawyer.
Yeah, which it shouldn't be anybody else at this point.
Yeah, and it's does that mean that Juliet, she's gonna Kate's gonna start feeling sick or something, and then Juliet will be like, hey, I happen to find this pregnancy test. Why don't you take this just in case? I don't know. I mean, how else is Kate gonna find out she's pregnant?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she'll have to have a reason to.
And that's the thing. I don't think Kate's gonna be. That would be weird, man. If we have a third pregnant woman, I mean, come on.
I know.
Pregnant women. I just don't want them on my TV show.
I don't want them. I obviously they're necessary in some cases, but
What do you mean, like the propagation of the species?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, okay.
All that nonsense. But yeah, on my TV shows, I really like the whole Claire situation. Really stressed me out in season 1. Like it was just like, oh,
it felt like you were raising a baby.
It did. It did, and it was just like, and she even said in one episode, like, everybody's looking at me like I'm a ticking time bomb or something. Like, yeah, they should be. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know, you've got this like enormous responsibility growing inside of you. You know, like oh God. And then yeah, when we found out someone was pregnant, it's like fucking shit, man, not again. And if Kate's pregnant too, yeah, no, please no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I really hope not. Nobody else needs to get pregnant. Just enough with the pregnancy.
I mean, not to go back to the whole withdrawal thing, but like I just can't imagine that they're having sex and they're not trying to do something to not get pregnant.
Well, yeah,
it
that's what I've always wondered.
It just wouldn't make sense to be like, to do the whole thing, just cause.
Just like, whatever.
Yeah, here it is. I hope you like it. Like,
Not
I don't
even
know.
like think about it. I mean, it seems like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think because it's a TV show, people just sort of have sex and like it doesn't seem like it's really gonna matter. But like in a real situation, yeah, I think you would probably think about that, at least somewhat,
Yeah, and I think. Not to judge their character, but I think Kate and Sawyer particularly would be used to those kind of situations, and they would do whatever they can to not get pregnant. I'm sure Sawyer's been there many times. He knows what to do and what not to do.
Well, I don't know.
And
he had a kid with what's her name?
Oh, but they were in love.
Oh, they were in love. Okay, I'm in love, so I'm not gonna pull out.
Exactly.
That's what that means, baby.
Exactly, baby. I love you. I'm gonna leave it in there. And then she's like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
Oh.
All right, let's just go to the next topic here. Let's see. So the next scene, Jen, Desmond, and Charlie are making a stretcher for Naomi, and then Desmond tells Charlie that by his count they've killed more others than the others have killed of them.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh really? So because how many others have we killed? Desmond? I mean.
Oh boy. That's a bad start.
Oops. I told Carlton and Damon I wouldn't say anything.
Damn you!
Desmond's another and he's dead. Oops.
Oh shit!
I gave away a big spoiler.
That's a double spoiler.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No kidding. Good win is what I meant to say.
Now I actually sat down to try to make a list.
Oh good, you made a list.
Well.
Did you check it twice?
I ended up, I was making the list because I was going to post on a message board, but I ended up not doing it and giving up. But I think I remember what was on the list. So, as far as others being killed by Lossies, we have Ethan, of course, Goodwin, two unnamed others killed by Echo, one unnamed other killed by Ana Lucia, and another unnamed other killed by Sawyer in the season 2 finale, and Colleen killed by Sun, and who else am I forgetting? I think that's it. That's all I can think of.
Well, we had Mikhail on that list until this episode.
Yeah. He would have been on that list, definitely.
So how many people is that?
So that's let's see. So Ethan Goodwin 2, and 1 and Colleen. I got 6.
And, that's the thing, I sort of like Desmond's, that little line Desmond has, but the reality of the fact is they were killed while trying to harm them. It's not, it sort of implies, like, you guys are worse because you've killed more of them. Well, no. They were killed in self-defense, and they were trying to, kidnap people with, pregnant women and stuff. Like,
it's not about numbers. It's about what was the situation that brought this about. For instance, when Ethan killed Scott, it was because he had kidnapped Claire. She escaped, and they didn't want to give her back.
Mm-hmm.
So he killed one of them. And you think that's the same as when when he, came back and he was going to take her and Charlie shot her because of stuff he had already done, or when Echo killed those people who were, coming to get him or whatever, it's these situations where or Son, they were coming to take the boat, and they all had guns and stuff, and it's they're acting aggressively first.
Mm-hmm.
In all cases.
In all cases, yes. They're not just hanging out and having book club and muffin time.
The Losties don't go off and just all right, we're just gonna fuck with the others for a while and then kill them.
Who can we kill today?
Yeah. And it just the numbers do come out uneven. But I have to say I blame the others for Anna Lucia and Libby being killed by Michael, and because it was because of them that he did that. Yeah. Even though morally sure he's to blame for that, but nonetheless I still hold them responsible. And even for Shannon's death, I feel like they're to blame for that to some extent too, because it was her it was them fucking around with the tail section so much that led her to be so on edge, and the fact that the whispering and shit was happening, and that's when they took Cindy,
yeah.
And I think if all that stuff hadn't happened, she wouldn't have just shot someone, in that situation.
Yeah.
So maybe a little less than with Michael, but I hold them at least partially responsible for that too. So if you add that to Scott and Nathan, Nathan, for instance, he just snapped his neck he didn't do shit. Nathan didn't do anything to Goodwin to have him kill him like that. It was just it was just a brutal murder out of nowhere, and the Losties don't do that.
I think that's still the whole why did Goodwin kill Nathan? I think that was a weird situation. It didn't seem like it was warranted.
Yeah.
Except I guess to make him seem because that's the thing. He said, he left or whatever, but it's because they were trying to figure out who was the if one of them was another or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the situation could have played out a lot differently, and Goodwin not kill Nathan.
Yeah. It's a weird scene because he comes up with that pack or whatever. He took the time to make this little pack for him to take and run away, only to snap his neck when he turns around. It's I don't know. It seemed kind of ridiculous.
He claims that the pack was just filled with rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this because you're not going to ever need it because I'm going to kill you in 5 seconds.
It just sort of played like a plot twist, because you think, because he was sort of seemingly on Nathan's side, come on, let's not convict this guy yet, go easy on him, throwing him in there, and so it's he's going to let him out. Oh shit, he killed him,
Yeah. Oops.
That's bad news. So I think, but then even then you're not really sure. You're maybe he's just taking the law into his own hands or something.
Yeah.
You're not really sure what's going on until he finally reveals himself. But that was a really weird situation. But nonetheless, it was just one of these killings with absolutely no provocation at all.
Yeah.
Just boom, I'm gonna kill you. That's it.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things. It's easy to say, but if you add up all those people, it isn't that off balance. The numbers are pretty close, even if even if they're winning, by 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So,
AKA losing.
AKA losing, whatever.
To win is to lose in the game of death.
Indeed.
Aristotle.
Aristotle.
Aristotle once said. Okay, so the next scene, still the same scene. Naomi wakes up and asks where she is, and of course Hurley's like, oh, flight A15, blah 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 blah. And she goes, A15, there were no survivors. They're all dead.
All dead.
Which I got to tell you, was a pretty nice plot twist, pretty nice revelation. It opens. I didn't expect that in this episode. I never thought that there would be any sort of misconception about what happened to the plane. I thought that the authorities just sort of didn't know what happened, never found the plane, and just said, "Hey, it went down in the ocean."
Yeah.
But the fact that they actually found a plane, supposedly found a plane, and either found the right number of bodies or whatever to make them think that there were no survivors, and that everyone was accounted for. I don't know. It seems like she's implying that everyone was accounted for too.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just one of the things where the next episode she'll go, all the people that they found were dead, but there were 40-something people missing,
Yeah, by all dead, I meant, we found, 3 dead people, and there were 500 missing. But,
exactly. Yeah,
and when I said we found the plane, I meant we found, a part of one part of the plane, and, yeah.
Oh, yeah, when I said we found the plane, I meant we found the part of the ocean where it should have went down. And they're all dead because no one can breathe in the water that long.
Yeah, they can easily take that back, or I don't know, or do nothing with it, or I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
We're next. All right.
Well, but do you think that Widmore or Dharma or the others or any sort of big, powerful organization could have covered up the crashing of the flight?
Maybe. I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I could maybe see when the plane crash has been, and Jacob decide to somehow cover that up so that no one comes looking for the plane.
Yeah.
Near their island.
Right. So I take it from what you're saying, you don't believe that they're actually dead.
No. Because if they're actually dead, I've wasted many hours watching this show.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, it just doesn't fit in. And so when I heard it, I was like, okay, so what's the explanation for this? Because I don't believe that they're really dead. I mean, she fucking came to this island, I don't know, come on.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. If someone covered the plane crash up and everyone sort of thinks that there's no survivors, you got to wonder why Penny is still looking for Desmond. Does she know something?
Well, Desmond wasn't on the plane.
Oh, that's right.
And that's exactly the same thing I thought.
Oh, wow, totally, yeah.
I
keep forgetting he's not on the plane.
I as soon as that happened, I'm like, but you're looking for Desmond. What are you talking about? They're all dead. And then I'm like, oh shit, Desmond was on the plane. The fact that he's integrated with the group makes him just seem like another plane crash survivor, but but he's not. So she could still be looking for him, even if everybody died on that plane crash. Yeah,
that's right.
So
that's interesting. But if Naomi is sent there to look for Desmond, I wonder why she even knows about 815.
I know. I found that pretty suspect. But I'm guessing it's just a plot thing. But if a plane crashes, planes crash all the time. Or well, maybe not all the time, but often enough. And I don't know the numbers and where they came from, and
sometimes there are big plane crashes where you do sort of hear about it in the news for a while, and so maybe that's what the idea is. But the way she said it, it seemed like she sort of had intimate knowledge of it, not just oh, I heard it on the news. Yeah. It didn't seem like it was something she heard on the news. It seems like she knew that for a specific reason. Even for, the 9/11 planes, I only know one of the flight numbers, and that's because of the movie.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know the flight numbers, and that's a pretty big deal, you know?
Well, yeah, I don't know the flight numbers of those, but I remember, the TWA, like, I used to know when TWA had their big crash, and, like, and there was a couple one that, like, people, it just depends on how big it is, I think.
Mhm.
And I think the 9/11 thing, it wasn't about those specific planes that was the issue. So the number, you don't identify the event by the planes, you know what I mean, by the plane number. So I think that's why no one really knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, United 93, yeah, the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's the only reason. And I don't think I could name a flight number or, an origin city for any plane that's crashed. Besides that one, I just can't think of any.
But you don't even watch the news and stuff anyway.
That's true. I'm probably not a representative of the average person, but if it were me, and they said that, I would have been like, okay, I wouldn't have had shit to say about that, but
yeah.
I still feel like I don't know. I still feel like it wouldn't have been that big of a story, but maybe it would have been. I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge.
A big international flight, I think, yeah, I could see it getting some coverage.
Yeah.
No, especially since they never found it, like it's one thing I think when it just crashes or something, but all the people, they never found it and blah, blah, blah. Or maybe they did find it, depending on what her story is.
Yeah, I know. She better get a little more specific.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will be like, Charlie will be like, what do you mean they're all dead? Did they find a plane? Blah, 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 blah. Who are you? And then she'll choose to answer that question. And my name is Naomi. And
oh, God. Yeah. Oh, that would be awful. That would be awful. What do you mean? What happened? What's going? Who are you?
Yeah.
There's one. I'll take that one.
That's the thing. Someone always gets indignant and demands to know some answers. And usually what they do is they have another character come in and say something else. Like, oh, don't listen to him. He'll just tell you lies. Or, like that whole thing with Mikhail, like, first tell me that, I think it was Kate, like, I want to know this, this, and this, but first tell me this.
Right.
But they never get back to the other thing.
Yeah, exactly. First tell me the thing that doesn't reveal very much.
Exactly.
I want to know the thing that isn't too interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's like they keep asking these questions and like stone-faced Juliet, like, damn you, say something.
Yeah.
Oh God. Like, why not, Juliet? Why not?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to happen when this week is over in terms of Juliet. Like, is she going to get to go? Is she gonna stay with the? I mean, I think the only way Juliet can stay with the Lossies is if, when shit starts to hit the fan when the week is up, that she sort of betrays Ben or whatever, that she can show her support and her, so that they can trust her.
Yeah.
Because I mean, once they find out that she's been working for Ben this whole time, like that's it. Like, there's no way she's going to be able to stay there anymore.
Yeah, even if she's like, but no, you don't understand. I hate him, and
yeah, exactly. Here, look, I recorded myself saying I hate him. Oh no, wait, I cut it off. Oh, damn.
Damn, but I did. But I really said it. I said a lot of times.
It. Episode 318.
Go watch it. Come on, guys. iTunes. Hello.
iTunes. You can download it for $1.99. Yikes, don't do that.
No, please, BitTorrent. Anybody? What did I say? Never mind.
Yikes. What did you say? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeez. I agree, though. There's just no coming back from that. It's like you can't, no matter what your intentions were, like, you were working, for him, and you really deceive people, and, like, after all that's gone on, like, they're not going to forgive you for that.
Yeah, it's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me again, shame on you. Fool me a third time, we're going to kill you, Juliet.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Aristotle.
No, that was Sophocles.
Oh, Sophocles, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, Sophocles, you weren't as important.
No.
Justin Young.
Justin Young. 2007.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So, we're done with our little synopsis. Are there any big questions that we haven't gotten to yet that we need to discuss?
Are you asking me? Or are you asking the live audience?
I'm asking both. Live audience members, if you would like to, shout out some questions or things you guys want us to talk about, we can definitely do that. I was specifically asking you, though, if there's anything on your list.
Let me look on my list. Let's see. I said that. Oh, I did want to say, like, why doesn't Naomi know where she is? that was kind of weird.
Oh, and she's like, "Where am I?
Where am I?" Like, yeah.
I sort of thought she was asking, not that she didn't know where she was, but sort of she just wanted confirmation that she was where she was trying to go. But just the island. Sort of like,
okay.
Because she's like, "Where am I?" And if he says, like, "You're in Fiji," then, she'd be like, "Shit, crap."
Oh, I see.
Either that or she was just sort of delirious, or, I mean, I don't want to believe that she wasn't trying to get to the island, because that's just crappy. So Perry has thrown out a question, who is Naomi with? And I will take that question and ask you.
Okay. Throw it to me, huh? I mean, I would guess that she's just with, a traveling companion on the same sort of mission.
A traveling companion. Someone to go to theaters and plays with. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's a crappy answer, but I mean, I feel like she's just with someone, I don't know how to answer that question. I mean, am I supposed to know their name? Like,
well, no. Like, is she with a specific organization? Is she with? Who is she working for? Like, and like, I mean, I think it's sort of all under the same umbrella of like what's going on with her.
I think she's working for Penny.
Working for Penny. I mean, do you think like the guy she's with, or whoever she's with, could be one of the Brazilian guys we saw?
Possibly. Sure. Sure. But it doesn't have to be. I mean, it can be whoever they want it to be. But I think they're all like.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. As the writers, they have the freedom to make it who. It could be Abraham Lincoln.
Why not? That would be
407 incidents ago.
Yikes, indeed. Yeah, no, I don't. I feel like whoever it is, they're working for Penny and they're looking for Desmond and so, I don't feel like it matters who they are, like, as a person. I mean, I think they're doing what this Naomi person is doing. They're on the same, mission.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that they're on the same mission. I would say that I think it's interesting to see who this other person is, and if it's a guy or if it's a girl, but yeah, I think they're definitely working for Penny, and I can't wait to find out where they are, what part of the island they landed on. We only saw one beacon, so hopefully this person didn't sort of not eject in time and is in the ocean somewhere.
Right.
Because that could be true, too. They could, because, I mean, we could, like, never find the other person.
Easily.
You know what I mean? Like, they could have landed somewhere in the island and we just sort of, like, never see them for a while. So, I don't know.
Could the other person be Penny herself?
No way.
No way?
I mean, I could see Penny, like, if they find this island and they think, like, this is where Desmond could be, especially after years of searching, I could see Penny being really anxious and being like, putting all her chips in that basket and being like, I really think this is where he is and I really want to go see him, so I'll come too. I could see that, but I just think that it's so dangerous and it's so seemingly uncertain that that's where he is that I think she would hang back and not go on the first trip.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's her, but I read somebody suggesting that, so I thought I'd bring it up. Yeah, no, I guess I don't think it's her. But if they did want to, like, hold off that reveal, I could see them making it her, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, the big reason I think is because, like, if Penny's on the island, then, I mean, what are they going to do with that?
I don't know.
I mean, Because, for instance, say Penny's on the island and she's the main force behind the rescue mission. Like, if she's lost, then there's nobody really keeping that going. I guess maybe one of the Brazilian guys or both of them, whoever's still there, might be like, okay, well now our boss is missing. Like, what do we do now? I don't know. I just wouldn't trust anyone but Penny to keep the search going.
Well, but if they flew to the island in a helicopter and then she went missing, I mean, it seems like they would know where to look.
Well, no, they could definitely know where to look, but having the resources and the money and stuff to get another thing going, like, I feel like she's getting that from her dad, And
oh, yeah.
I just think it makes things a lot more complicated if she is sort of missing, too.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, she has a working satellite phone and she can say, hello, Daddy.
Right.
Come pick me up.
I mean, if they know where the island is and they found it in a helicopter, I mean, how far could we be from, rescue? That's,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It just depends on how they found it and if they were specifically, what I think it all depends on how they found the island.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, but that's the other thing too. We know the supply drops came by plane, so obviously the island is fairly easy to find if you know where to look.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were getting regular supply drops for who knows how many several years at the least, if not 10 or 20. So
if somebody could just figure out who's making those supply drops, they could just ask them, where do you go?
They need to get the FedEx tracking number of the supply drop, find out who signed for the who signed for them and when and where.
Customer not available. Will return tomorrow.
Exactly.
12 to 3 p.m.
Signature required. You can pick this up at your nearest FedEx location after 7 p.m. Oh, thank you.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Right, let's go to another question from the audience.
There's been a lot, I think.
There's been a lot. You guys are still typing as we talk to.
Typing.
Somebody asked the question about...
Thanks for saying Kreggers.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot. You know what I hate is that, whoever chats, types their message last goes to the top.
Yeah.
And it when it's hard to figure out where you saw something because it keeps changing.
Yeah, I didn't think it did that before. I don't know. That's weird.
I didn't think it did that either before. I don't know. Anyway, who would win in a fight, Hurley and Charlie versus Patchy?
Hurley and Charlie at the same time?
That's what the question is.
Versus Patchy?
Or maybe Hurley versus Patchy and Charlie versus Patchy, which I think is the same outcome.
Yeah, no, I think he would win, Patchy.
Yeah, I think he would win. I think even both of them, he would win.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're not fighters.
They're not. They're not lovers either.
No.
I don't know what they are.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, everybody, it's unanimous so far. Everybody thinks Patchy would win. He's pretty cagey.
Yeah, he's pretty cagey. He's just like a pretty big guy, and I wouldn't want to mess with him. I mean, sure, he has no depth perception, which might work in your favor.
Yeah.
But and sort of no peripheral vision on that other side. But I guess if you stay in his blind spot, you can get a couple good hits in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you'd have to do, but I don't think Hurley or Charlie would be smart enough to really use that to their advantage.
No, Hurley'd be like, what, man? I'm in a fight? Oh, no, I just lost, man.
Yeah, Hurley would just be too slow, and Charlie would be too small and weak. And yeah. Sorry, guys, that's just not your function in the show. You're not supposed to fight people. We need other people for that.
All right, I'm trying to find another question here.
God, people are saying all kinds of stuff. I say Jack's not an other. That's an easy answer.
Yeah.
I mean, in what sense? Obviously, depends on what being an other means. But
somebody said do the bird voice.
Do the bird voice? I don't even know what that is.
I don't remember what the bird voice. Is it the? What's the bird voice? I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I read a lot of comments about that, and I just don't remember. I just don't remember what it was.
I think that's something you did. Oh yeah, it was the birds have their own problems thing.
Oh, okay.
And there was some sort of voice with that.
And there was a voice. I don't know what the voice sounds like, though. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
Oh.
Or I'd be happy to do it, but yeah,
Nice.
I don't know. I'm having slight throat problems too, so I don't know if I could do it justice. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Well, it's very weird to talk and have a response in text.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not used to that. Very confusing. But yeah, I don't think Jack's working with the others. I think what he said was essentially true. That he just kind of stayed quiet and didn't ask questions. That's Jack's style.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, by that. Except when he's turning in his father from medical malpractice.
Right. But that was hard for him.
Because it's hard for him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He didn't want to, but he had to. This chat is confusing. Yeah, you're right. I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah, it's this chat has its own problems.
I'm trying to look back in time and I can barely even follow it.
Does Jack's mom know about Claire? I could see her knowing, but I could also see her not knowing.
Yeah. I think yeah, I could see it going both ways. I can't. We barely saw Jack's mom that one time, I think.
Yeah.
I don't feel that I got enough on her to know what she knows.
So you're saying you think that she's Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
what I thought.
That's how I say that. I have this weird language.
Yeah. You have a strange way of saying things.
Yeah, I do. I don't know.
Yeah, we saw Jack's mom from Sloth. The question had we ever seen Jack's mom? We saw him, her.
What?
Season 1, yeah, right? That's a different story. She likes to be called a her. Back in season 1, when that was the whole impetus of Jack going to Australia, was that Christian, Jack's dad, was on the lam again, and she was like, "You need to go get him, Jack."
That would be White Rabbit, season 1, episode 5.
And what was the run time on that one?
That would be 42 minutes and 8 seconds.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
How many commercial breaks did that episode have?
That episode featured 4 commercial breaks.
And who was the biggest sponsor for that commercial?
The biggest sponsor for that commercial was Toyota.
Toyota, okay. And it was what new vehicle were they promoting?
They were promoting... Okay, this is bad. We're doing fucking... What's it called? We're doing the... And I don't know what to say. Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, I was like, at a certain point, you won't be able to name a Nissan vehicle.
Yeah, I don't even...
Not a new one.
Yeah, I can't even. I have no idea. And it'd have to be like a 2004 new one, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Why would that be a 2004 new one?
Well, because if it came on during White Rabbit, that would have been in 2004.
Oh, okay. I was thinking because the show takes place in 2004, I'm like,
no.
That has nothing to do with the ads that they play.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Bailey.
But that's the weird thing. When the show started, it was current.
It was current, yeah.
And I don't know if they thought about it or I don't know what they were doing, but now it just seems weird. It's the weirdest kind of period movie, it's just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be now? Well, it can be now because they've already established a timeline, but it's just kind of weird that it's kind of stuck in that period, and the years just keep going.
The show doesn't move as fast as real time does.
Yeah.
So Bailey Bear said, "Will Ben die this season?"
Oh, no way.
No way. Why do you say that?
I just don't think he's gonna die. I have no real defense for it, except that I think they like his character and they're going to keep him around as long as possible. I think if he does die, it'll be pretty late in the series.
I think there's only so much you can do with Ben. I think you know, he can't be the main antagonist throughout the entire series. I think that's boring. And I think they won't focus on the others for the rest of the series either. We're gonna be getting out of that at some point. So I mean, they could have Ben sort of lose focus, and and the show can focus on something else, and then I can see him sort of being in the background. But I can actually see him dying. I think the end of the season's too early, but by the end of next season or something like that, I can see Ben being dead, because he is a really good character. But I think at a certain point, you can only do so much, and if you keep having him around, he's just going to get worse because he's just around all the time doing nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they've already had that problem to some extent.
Yeah.
But I think the writers are they really don't want to let him go, and this season, I say this season, no way. Possibly next season if he dies.
Do you think we'll find out who Jacob is this season?
This season, I don't know. I really hope so. If we do, it better be pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, man behind the curtain, right?
Yeah, maybe. I guess if that might be it. I don't know. But I want to hope so, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much, because things are revealed very slowly on this show.
Yeah, I mean, the first mention of Jacob was, what episode was that? Do you remember?
Jacob mentioned by name, or him?
By name.
By name would have been I Do. When Pickett said Shepard wasn't even on Jacob's list.
Yeah.
Episode 6, season 3.
So by the way they reveal information, we'll probably know who Jacob is by the end of next season or something.
Mm-hmm.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. But it'd be nice if they gave it to us this season as a nice little quick treat.
Here's a treat.
Because I think Jacob is the him they were talking about in season 2, and if you allow that, then that was mentioned first in maternity leave in episode 15 of season 2. So that would be almost a season, more than a season since that happened. So maybe they will. It'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Ooh, sorry.
You okay? You're a little sick, huh?
Yeah, I got a little cough. I've been periodically covering the phone and coughing.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we don't want to catch your germs.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, oof. Luckily, I have a voice. Yes. Oh, yes, poor me. Okay.
Oh, poor you. Did we cover everything on your list of questions, Justin?
Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, we did. I got everything of mine out there.
Nice.
Do you? Oh boy, we got
new topic. What is wrong with the church?
Oh geez, what kind of question is that? What is wrong with the church?
What isn't wrong with the church?
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
You know what that means?
I have no idea what that means.
The current state of the religious and socio-political climate in the United States. That's what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought you meant the church on Lost, like Echo's church.
I'm kidding. I just made that up. I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh. I thought it was a question from the last time we saw the church, and there was something wrong with it, and we're supposed to talk about that.
I think it's a GSPN thing.
Oh, it's a GSPN thing. Okay.
The whole thing. And
because they talk about what's wrong with the church. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I get it. Sorry, I don't know what people are talking about. Let's see. Let's see if I can go through these questions real quick. Do I still think Jacob is a machine? I never really thought that, but it's funny. What about you?
Of course he's a machine.
Okay. Good.
No, I'm kidding. I don't believe that. That'd be weird.
Okay. God, they're moving so fast. I can't even. And you have to go
faster, Justin. Go faster.
You have to scroll over them to see the whole message, and like people keep talking. Stop talking. Okay. Who else will die this season? Anything on that? What do you say?
I don't see anyone dying this season.
I'm gonna call Charlie. I think Charlie might die this season.
You know, he's such a big character that I feel like for him not to be on the show would be really different. I do think it's time for him to die, and I really wouldn't be upset. But you know, I think Charlie's great when it comes, you know, in certain situations with Claire, because you know he can take care of the baby and and she trusts him and stuff, and situations like that I think they would lose. I mean, I guess you know Son and maybe Kate could take care of the baby in those situations when something's going on with Claire, but I think they would lose some stuff that they have with Charlie. But yeah, I guess he's in line to die at some point. So
yeah, that's the only person I can really predict dying, because it just seems inevitable. But let's see, is Locke now an other? Once again, it's such a hard thing to say. What does that even mean? But I'm gonna say no. I don't think he is. I think he's got his own agenda. I don't think he's going to become an other. I don't think. Yeah.
Well, like you said, what does that question sort of mean? What does it mean to be another? I mean, those are the kind of philosophical things people have been pondering since the beginning of mankind. Aristotle once said, to be another is to be human, and to be human is to be flawed. And we know that the others are flawed. So there we go. Ergo facto, no.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is he another because he is going along with them and he's at wherever new place they're at and he buys into their ideology? I mean, maybe that's what makes him another. Is he going to stay with them, and help them with their little projects and whatever they're doing? No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I agree. I think he's going along. I think he's going along for his own reasons.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be really weird when he comes back, too. Because he's gone, it's sort of a traitorish thing to do.
Yeah.
To go off and, what were you doing? Will Ben get out of his wheelchair this season?
Oh, God, they're coming so fast. God. People are just
that fast.
It's too fast. I can't keep up. I can't do my high voice. My voice is like giving out when I go to the high. Yeah, it's bad. Oh God, wait, what was the question? Will Ben get out of his wheelchair? Sure, why not? Will Kay be pregnant? I really hope not.
I don't think Ben's gonna get out of his wheelchair. I feel like for Locke to help Ben get to where he needs to be in terms of whatever, like on the good with the island again. I mean, is that going to happen by the end of the season? I don't know. We have what, like 4 more episodes? 6 more episodes?
No. Wait. What?
How many episodes in the season? 24?
19, 20, 21. 4 more episodes. One of them is a 2-hour finale, so 5 more hours.
4 episodes, 5 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, do you really think he's gonna know what he needs to know and do what he needs to do by the end of the season?
Ben?
Yeah.
I hope so.
You hope so? Yeah. I mean, I don't want him to take too long because it's not that interesting.
I mean, how long can his shit drag out? That's the thing. I feel like maybe wherever they're going will lead to him getting out of the wheelchair. And because I just don't think he can stay there forever unless he just dies or something. But and I don't really know. He could not get out. I really barely have an opinion on that. I just said yes because it was a word. I don't know.
Yeah, you were trying to answer as many questions as fast as you could.
I was. When the world is going to go 1 next season?
What is that? What in the world is going to go one next season?
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Oh, on next season. Probably on. What's going to go on next season? No idea. I can't even speculate next season. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah, it wasn't really clear last season what this season was going to be like. So I don't think it'll be easy to predict. But I assume that it won't be. I'm guessing it won't be about the others. I'm guessing it'll be some kind of new. Well, not new, but like maybe island type stuff. I don't know.
Well, I think what they're going to do, they're going to find a hatch that's buried underground, and they're going to find a guy in there who's pressing a button every 108 minutes,
and
they're going to, oh, wait, they already did that.
Oh, shit.
Never mind, that's all I could come up with. They already did it.
Okay. I guess they're out of stuff to write. Oh, well.
They're out of stuff to write because I couldn't think of anything, huh? I hope they don't think that. That would be bad.
That would be bad.
What will be the twist in the season finale?
You know, that's one of those things that, like, last season, you know, no one would have ever known what the twist was until the finale came on.
Yeah.
Because, like, the twist was pretty much the Penny thing, and we didn't even know Penny existed until the last episode, really.
Yeah.
You know, like, they had the picture, but, like, who knew she was going to be some kind of character like that, you know, in a flashback, and I don't think there's any way to...
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I don't know. I can't even imagine what the twist could be. I really think it would make sense to reveal Jacob in the last episode. Yeah,
it would, but maybe they'll do that in the Man Behind the Curtain.
Yeah,
because that, you know, the title makes it seem like that's, you know, a good time to do it.
Yeah, but it seems like the title could just be sort of a red herring, and we'll get some information about Jacob, maybe, or they'll talk about him, but we won't actually see him or something.
See.
Or maybe, you know, they'll talk about him, and then, like, in the season finale, it'll be a twist on what they've said about him already.
Yeah,
right?
That's what they did. Like, last season, they had all that stuff with the question mark hat with the pearl, and then the season finale threw in the twist of, oh, the tubes go nowhere. And
yeah.
You know, and then Desmond's like, what if that was the experiment, and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, maybe it will be one of those, like, late-season twist things.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, Jacob is really blah, 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 but then the finale, they're like, no, that was wrong, because look at this. And
yeah, like, we find Jacob or something, or, you know, and then he ends up dying in that episode, you know, or something, and then at the end we find out that really wasn't him, or something like that. Something lame that we'll just eat up because we want every moment. That's
what we love. Because it's so good.
Let's go back to the... Jack is a transsexual.
Interesting. Right. Okay.
Judith delivers his baby.
Of course. Jack is not Sawyer's type. Jack delivers his own baby. A lot of theories.
Jack is not Sawyer's type. Is Jack not Sawyer's type? I don't know. I don't know what Sawyer's type translates into in terms of male.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, Jack and Kate are kind of alike. I mean, if Kate was a man, would she look like Jack? Like, I don't know, Matthew Fox. I'm going to need to see you in a G-string so I can figure this out.
Yeah. Naomi has a tattoo. Okay. I don't know what to say with that. I think it is... Okay. I can't follow.
Boone was Sawyer's type?
Oh.
Yikes. I guess Boone... I don't know what to say to that. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Jack is too alpha for Sawyer? Maybe so. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think he likes the... I don't think Sawyer really goes for the sort of diminutive women, you know. All the women he's kind of been with have been sort of strong-willed and, you know... Even, like, the whole Ana Lucia thing, you know, that little flirtation there, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And and a lot of the times in flashbacks when we saw him sleeping with women, it was part of a con.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to know if they're really like his type or if he's just kind of doing a con thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, but even with Cassidy, she's pretty strong-willed kind of person.
Yeah, true. I agree. Yeah. Not prim and proper.
She's not Claire's son.
Right.
He doesn't go for the Claire son types.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Claire and son. You're just not gonna beat people up. Ever. Sawyer was an extra in Deliverance. I don't believe that. The character, that's crazy.
What happened? Missed it.
X Petrie said Sawyer was an extra in Deliverance.
Oh, you mean the actor?
I don't know what he means.
Oh. Well, I can't mean the character because
that'd be crazy.
Before I saw Deliverance fairly recently.
Yeah, you did, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember Sawyer being there.
Yeah, very strange movie.
Sorry, I'm reading.
Yeah, me too. Sorry for our listeners who are not live right now. We're reading the comments, and it's an interesting conversation. The relative merits, I believe, of Sawyer and Jack getting it on, I think, is pretty much the topic of conversation, and something about them butting heads.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else do we need to talk about, dude?
Oh, God.
Who will play ping pong next? That is a question I will not answer. Let's not talk about the ping pong. Everyone knows I hate the ping pong.
I will say it'll be Jack and
Jack and Hurley.
Hurley, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it rest.
Yeah. That's a really no, please not Julia versus Ben. That would be ridiculous.
Julia versus Ben. Oh, and ping pong?
I think.
Is Ben in the wheelchair or is he standing up? Because if he's in the wheelchair, Juliet's going to win.
Yeah, I agree. I can't imagine him playing ping pong even without the wheelchair.
He's a fun guy. You saying Ben Linus is not a fun guy?
Are you telling me?
You're telling me that you don't think he can get down with some ping pong?
Yeah, it seems too frivolous for him. I don't know. He's very. I wouldn't say he's boring, but I'd say he's sort of uptight or something. He's not the type to sort of play silly games. Like he wasn't outside playing catch with Jack.
Yeah, well, he was in the wheelchair.
Well, he wasn't in a condition to, but I think even if he wasn't in the wheelchair, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, he's preoccupied. There's bigger things going on, you know.
Yeah.
Than that whole thing.
Mhm. Boring for games. Fair enough, sir. He used to be cool. Yeah, well, he did.
Oh, there's a question. Do you think would win in a wheelchair race, Ben or Locke? You know, I'd have to say Locke, because he spent more time in the wheelchair, and I think he's probably a little bit stronger than Ben.
Yeah, I agree. Locke would have to win. It's all about arm strength.
What do you think is going to happen with Cooper?
God, I don't know. I actually have not watched Next Week on Lost yet. And I think it shows something happening, but I don't remember what.
Yeah.
But I don't think it shows Cooper dying. It probably doesn't even show Cooper at all. But I think I have no idea. He can't live. He can't live. You know? I mean, what would happen to him if he lived? You know?
He could come on the beach with the Lofties and play ping pong.
I mean, I don't see him, you know.
Well, do you think Locke's gonna kill him?
I think maybe Locke or maybe Sawyer will kill him.
You think Sawyer's gonna find out he might be the real Sawyer?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And he's got to find out pretty soon.
Yeah, I think he's gonna find out really soon.
I could see Juliet telling him too. I can't see any way that he's gonna find out anytime soon, unless Sawyer and Juliet are talking about something and she meant she knows from his file that Cooper is his dad or something. And I'm sorry, the real Sawyer, that Locke's dad is the real Sawyer, and then she mentions that he's on the island.
Mhm.
And then she could be like, I can take you to him. And then they have a whole Trek expedition to wherever the others are now.
I think, yeah, I don't know.
You're trying to read the things, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, according to what they're saying, yeah, it sounds like Locke's going to do what you were saying.
Locke's going to do what?
He's going to be like the one coming up and telling Sawyer that he's the real Sawyer and I can take you to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you think Locke's going to do that because he wants his dad dead but doesn't have it in his heart to kill him himself? Something like that?
Yeah. 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 And there was that scene where Locke asked Sawyer about his real name. I believe that was season 2, episode 11, Hunting Party, where he's like, "Where'd you get that name?" and blah blah blah, and they talk about it, and it not much happens, but they put it in that character connections feature on the season 2 DVD.
Yeah. I could see Locke at some point before he got on the island finding out that his dad used that name at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's
so he sort of knows.
And so I'm thinking, yeah, that might be how he knows, and so he shows up and he's like, "Hey, come on, let's go kill Sawyer," whatever. I don't know how that's going to go down though, and I don't know if Sawyer's going to actually do it, but I just can't see how he can live.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do with this guy? I mean, he's not going to like live in the wilderness. I don't see him living with the others. Like,
they'll kill him.
He just seems like a liability. Now maybe he'll be killed in such a way that Sawyer doesn't have to kill him. But
Sawyer's got to kill him.
But I think he has to die.
I think it would. I mean, I think it would make sense for Sawyer to kill him. It would, sort of bring his story to a close, and that chapter at least to a close. Yeah, it's weird. Are there supposed to be? And I don't think there are, but I was wondering if you heard from the creators. Are there supposed to be any specific reason why these characters are so, intricately connected to each other, or that's just sort of how the show is?
As far as I know, there's not been. Nobody stated an actual reason for it.
Okay.
That it was just supposed to be like one of those like coincidences of life kind of things.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
Put a few random strangers together and they're connected in more ways than you would ever know.
Get a little British, yeah.
Yeah, a little horse British.
A little horse British.
A little British horse.
A British horse. It's called a pony.
A pony.
Speaking of ponies, because that made me think of Penny. Yeah, like you said earlier about if she could be on the island. I just don't think she's going to be on the island. That's just really weird.
Who,
I think that's
Penny?
really odd. Penny,
yeah.
It's Kate's horse British. Depends on. Well, the only way we can find out is to offer him some tea. And if he says Earl Grey hot, then yes, he's British. If he says tea, I don't want any tea. Give me some coffee. Then he's probably American.
Okay, interesting. Oh man, that's Yeah, I'm not very good at like keeping my mind on the conversation and trying to read what's going on here.
Yeah, that's hard.
People say stuff and I want to just laugh, but I can't. There it goes again. Anyway.
Hello, I'm Kate Orth.
Yeah.
Nice, good one.
That's what I read.
No, you can't walk and chew gum, Justin.
Oh, you're right. I can't.
Can you rub your stomach and pat your head?
I can, but it's hard.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Right.
Zing.
Zing, indeed. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, no, I can do that. It's reading and talking. That's my weakness.
Yeah.
I can't read
because
something
it takes,
and talk.
Yeah, it's two separate trains of thought at the same time. You got to think about what they're saying and then try to say what you're saying. And
yeah, I think I'm a little better with motor skills than I am with that.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. So what else we got? What's
I think that's it.
We're not.
At this point, we're just reading what people are saying.
I know, and I think people are done asking like normal questions.
Yeah.
Ex-Preachy loves the U.S. Office. Interesting.
I love the U.S. Office also.
Because Ex-Preachy is from England, if I remember correctly. So,
that's right.
So,
Ex-Preachy, yeah, that's interesting. Interesting. I'd love to have a whole separate conversation about the U.S. Office versus the British version from a British person's perspective.
Mhm. Yeah, because they'd probably see it somewhat differently.
Oh yeah.
British shows always seem a little bit strange to us, but they're not like American TV shows somehow. So, but I haven't actually seen the whole British series. I've only seen like a couple episodes of it. So anyway, this isn't about The Office.
I was gonna go into the whole thing about that. Yeah, it's not about The Office.
So, do you think Michael and Walt will appear in the last minute of the finale?
The last 2 minutes of the finale. No.
Okay.
That would be very, 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 very strange. That's the thing. I don't think we will see them on the island anymore. I think we might find out what happened to them, after they left. But if they're back on the island, that muddles things, I think.
Yeah, it does. It does. And it's my understanding that Harold Perrineau is like he's on some other show.
Oh, he's an actor. He's always doing stuff.
So, if he's on this other show, I don't see how he can just come back and do Lost. But I agree. I think they have to say something about what happened to him,
Yeah.
It seems ridiculously,
Carlton and Damon said something about that we'll find out one day.
Yeah.
They said whatever happened to him, whatever happened to them is fairly interesting.
Yeah. They said that in the video podcast way at the beginning of season 3.
I wish they did more of those.
Yeah, I know. I thought we were in for a whole season of them, but it turns out that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And we just got back to the regular audio podcast.
Will Saeed fall in love with Naomi? Only if she's a good torturer. I feel like it's weird getting these questions because it's like I feel like a magic 8-ball.
Yeah.
Outlook not so good.
Yeah, I know.
All signs point to no.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're extremely speculative questions that obviously we don't know the answers to. I don't even know if that's serious or not. Oh, God.
Oh, it doesn't matter if it's serious. It's a question. It deserves addressing.
Ooh, sorry. No, I'm not sure if they really think, her and Saeed will really hit it off or something. She does seem to be like she has some kind of accent going on, but
She did have some sort of weird. I couldn't really tell. I love the fact that she was speaking all these random languages.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that. That was kind of odd. That she's just like muttering at a bunch of languages.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that means that she specifically. I think it just shows that there's some training she has a specific background that's suited for this kind of rescue mission thing.
Yeah.
That she's not sure what situation she's going to be in, so it will be she knows all these like different languages, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So she was interesting. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this. I mean, I really think like. She's gonna have to die at some point soon, right? I mean, they're not gonna keep her on the show forever.
I hate like thinking like that. You know, and when I think back to like when we first met Desmond, you know, it's like the solution for him was he just ran away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, initially, because it's like I should have known at the time, like he's not gonna just become a character all of a sudden. Like, you know, so they just kind of got rid of him. And then at some point they're like, okay, let's try to actually sign him up for the show. But, like, a character like this, like, yeah, I don't think she's going to be a main character. So, yeah, I mean, I think she can hang around for a few episodes. But, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I think she could be around for a few episodes. You know what I could also see is, like, if she says something like, you know, we have a contingency plan that if I'm out of contact, they send rescue party within 3 days or something. And, like, you know, one of those situations where, like, she ends up leaving with the rescue party or something, but no one else does kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they did that on Gilligan's Island. They did that on something where, like, you know, you want, because it's like maybe it was a Star Trek episode, Voyager, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it was. They found a wormhole or something, and you thought, like, oh cool, they're all going to get to go home, but only, like, the person that was rescuing them got to go because of something that happened. And
so
they could do that. They could get her off the island without her dying, but yeah, I just can't imagine she's just going to be hanging around at the beach and,
yeah,
you know.
No way. She doesn't strike me as a long-term character.
Yeah, she's a Nikki and Paolo.
Yeah, a little better than Nikki and Paolo in terms of, like, appearing, and, you know, they were like, she's been here all along. Why did we go find her? We already knew her. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I was just reading, someone asked about aborting the pregnancy, you know, like, could that save these women's lives?
I had that thought. I mean, a lot of people who are sort of against abortion in general will be okay with it in the event that it's jeopardizing the mother's life, and you know, that appears to be the case.
Yeah.
So I would certainly look into that if I were pregnant.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I think, you know, they were saying it hasn't really been brought up, and I think it's because the show's on ABC, you know.
Oh no.
Which is owned by, you know, Disney and Viacom Company. No. But I don't really think they even want to get into that idea of abortion on primetime TV. I don't really think they want to turn it into that discussion. But I think, realistically speaking, for the show, they, you know, I don't really think the others really considered abortion because they're trying to fix the situation, you know. And if you're not going to know if your treatments worked until the mother dies, basically. You know, you're not going to know if it worked or not until it's too late, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because because the woman, obviously they're getting pregnant so that they can test these drugs out. And if you know by the third trimester that's when the women die, if you abort the baby before then, you're not going to really know if the drugs work.
True.
So I don't think it's really been an option. But I think like in Sun's case where, you know, they're not, you know, she's not really trying to figure out how to fix this problem of you know, having babies, she might, that might be a thing. I would be really surprised if the writers put that in there, though. Like, if Sun had an abortion, I'd be really surprised.
I can't believe that they wouldn't, like, think of it, but maybe they really are, like, not including that, you know, because of the network.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like something that should at least be brought up, even if they're not going to go with it.
Yeah.
You know, because,
I can see her having a miscarriage, like something happens, or she, I can see they're having a miscarriage, but an actual abortion, like, there's no way they would do that.
Yeah, I agree. They're not going to do that, but I would be thinking about it. Just saying.
Just saying is all. Yeah, you know how you feel about kids.
Well, I mean, it's not.
You mean I know what you mean. In the light of that, you're gonna die. If
Yeah.
Silent. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like gung ho about abortions. I just.
Oh yeah. The more abortions, the better.
Yeah.
No, that's bad.
No, I'm not saying that. I just, that's, if I'm looking at death, I don't know. Right.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Even if you don't want it. So, which is the opposite.
Indeed.
So we got 5 minutes before this thing is going to end. So I say let's close it down now before it just cuts us off.
Okay.
So thank you guys for listening, and big thanks for you guys who are here live now. This is our second live podcast, and it's a very interesting thing to do. So we'll probably do it again, and I think this was a very good episode to do a live podcast on. And maybe in the future, more often than not, we'll podcast live about, with these smaller episodes, the ones where, huge things don't happen, because I think those are more ripe for our regular format of long discussion.
Yeah.
But an episode like this, it's like, there's not a whole bunch to talk about, and it's nice to get the feedback on stuff. So.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks and namaste.
Namaste and good luck.